ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and dudes of all teenagers, as well as the gals. My name is Christian Chandler. I am here, and y'all are there.
Christian. Arguably the most documented person in history. His antics have been witnessed by millions, with many always keeping a close eye on him, waiting to see what he does next.
Because all you do is make me feel sad and depressed. He should love his mother. She misses him. Hello, we're live on the internet. What do you want? Mom, hello. I love the women outside. Do not hate. Hate is not so
And
good.
in.
I want everything about my house
Off of the internet. I'm gonna shut this thing down. Oh, Bob the Lumberjack. Classic days.
What are you gonna do about it? Yeah, whatever.
Oh, gonna cycle these bad boys again. Need to cook quite a few. I think we're gonna have to purchase
made him
some
this
good
way?
old death runes off the GE for this run.
What is the attraction?
What is the attraction?
What keeps us fascinated?
No, you gotta stay there
This
like
is the
Sans
story
dog.
of Christian.
You don't even have a collar on you, dog. I'm letting you freeball today. You understand how lucky you are? You could be like a Sans dog. I'll give you pet down. Goober. You don't stay. Good. I just gotta shut the door.
Christopher Weston Chandler was born on February 24th, 1982, in Charlottesville, Virginia, to parents Bob, aged 54, and Barbara, 40.
Barbara.
Bob had worked in the engineering field for Western Electric and later General Electric. The family held Bob's life accomplishments very proudly, as he had at least 7 patents to his name, including mechanisms used in the production of Kleenex and molding of plastic water containers. Bob was very world conscious and was an avid collector of stamps since a very young age. Later in life, he developed a love for music, especially foreign music. He eventually amassed a collection of over 10,000 vinyl records. He had a son and daughter from a previous marriage, the relationships with whom were strained to say the least. Barbara was a secretary with Virginia Power. She had a habit of hoarding her belongings and was an emotionally abusive person, which convinced her then 17-year-old son, Cole Smithy, to seek independence and live life on his own. So when Chris came along, Bob and Barb got a chance to start anew. The new family started their new life in their humble Ruckersville home. Chris later claimed that at around 2 months of age, he uttered his first word, monkey. It didn't take long for the parents to see that Chris wasn't quite like most other babies. The first signs of his autism could be witnessed in 1983. Despite his condition being congenital, he had stated that his autism was brought about by one particularly traumatic event when he was 18 months old. A babysitter named Roach, or Roach, would look after baby Christopher whenever his parents would go out in the evenings. One of these nights, Chris inadvertently infuriated her, and she locked him in a room filled with toys, in the dark, alone. This would prove so traumatic that he refused to speak for the next 6 years. Even though he sees this event as the source of all his troubles, he does not blame his parents for keeping Roach as his babysitter, for they did not know better. Despite living out his childhood as a mute, Chris was anything but quiet. He confessed later on in life that he screeched often and was very troublesome to his parents. In 1985, the Hammer household moved into the neighborhood. The Hammers and the Chandlers struck up a cordial relationship, which led to Chris forming a bond with the Hammer's daughter, Sarah. Looking back, Chris considered her to be his closest childhood friend, and that she greatly helped him with his autism. However, From what is known of their relationship, it is also likely that she took advantage of Chris's innocence and trust, and may be seen more as a bully than a friend. For example, she once told him that Casper the Friendly Ghost was hiding under her house. Naturally, Chris crawled into the hammer's crawl space to find him, only to find spiderwebs, bugs, and dirt instead. Sarah
That's
locked
so
him in.
evil, bro.
After about half an hour,
That's so
her dad
evil.
came to his rescue. On another occasion, she told Chris that if he were to eat the upper thing of a honeysuckle, it would taste like honey.
You know,
This
we
is
were
a
told that
reference
as
to
a
the
kid
berries
too.
of a honeysuckle, which can be slightly harmful if ingested in large doses. Fortunately, their parents told them
Yeah, we
of
were
the
also
dangers
told
of
not to
doing
eat a
so
bunch of them.
before Christopher could fulfill Sarah's wish. At the age of 5, Chris began studying at Greene County Primary School together with Sarah. It is not known how he was treated here or how he got along with the other kids. In addition to taking regular classes at the primary school, he received language training at James Madison University. In 1987, in a lengthy letter addressed to Chris, dated December 26th, Bob offered his outlook on life and presented some life advice for his
Bob
son.
the Lumberjack.
There are many sides to a
Rest in
mountain
peace,
and many
brother.
ways to climb it. If you get stopped, back off, regroup, and try another way. If you are still not successful, maybe it is not meant to be. If it is meant to be, having it on the back burner simmering for a while is not bad. It will pop up again, and the way to attain it will be there. Everything in its time. Your mother and I have done our best for you, and in return, we expect at least that from you, for yourself and your children. He also expressed wishes for his son to inherit and hold dearly his vast collection of music, movies, stamps, and art prints. He reminisced about the straight razor which he
Tell him, Bob.
inherited from his grandfather, which he carelessly broke while using it as a screwdriver. Bob still held on to that broken razor his entire life because his grandfather wanted him to have it. Bob hoped that Chris would share his father's sentiment.
Bro, I feel that too. Like, some shit, even if it's broken, it's just like the sentimental value it has is crazy. But at the same time, though, you know, you can't do that with everything, or else you'll end up a fucking hoarder with a bunch of bullshit. But like, one pocket knife, I think I have like one rusty ass pocket knife sitting back in my my own shit, and it's pretty crazy. Just like how people can have that experience.
I hope that you will not carelessly misuse, waste, or destroy the value of the many things I have collected for you. First, learn all about them, how to use them and enjoy them, their value, and how you can thoughtlessly waste their value. Then enjoy them as I have. For example, my very good stamp collection, or all the recorded popular music on cassette tape, VCR tapes.
How the fuck do you enjoy a stamp collection? I've never been into that kind of thing, but like, I want to know. I want somebody in chat eventually to tell me
And
like
records.
how you get into fucking stamp collecting. Just like as a secondhand hobby that's just, here's all my fucking stamps. It's not like fucking trading cards where you can play something, you know? You're just sitting there like, well, I guess if I ever need to mail an emergency letter, I can do so at a detriment to yourself, I guess, because like the stamps would be worth something to a degree, I guess. That's what would make them
My books on
collectible.
popular music, movies,
Maybe.
entertainers,
I don't
musical
know.
theater,
I don't know,
ship
that's weird.
models, My daylilies, gazebo, and dreams. This letter offers an insight into Bob's character, as he feared that
My
all he had
gazebo
accomplished over the
and
course of his
dreams.
life may be lost. In 1989, during a weekly trip to the toy store with his mother, Chris picked up a GoBot up on display and
He
slowly
picked
started
up
to
a
read
GoBot.
out the text on the package, ending his 6 years of silence. Later that same year, Bob and Chris converted the shed in their backyard into a workshop, christening it the Dreaming Studio. Bob had hoped that he and his son would build things together there. He even commemorated the space with a plaque, Dreaming Studio of Mr. C and Little C, where dreams do come true. However,
Nice.
when asked about it, Chris could not recall what, if anything, had been built there. It was
You know,
instead mostly used by Barbara for storage.
I don't
For
think that's
Christmas
his
of that
fault.
year, he got a Nintendo Game Boy. This was also the year that the family
Nintendo
got
kinda set
Eddie
that kid on a
Chandler
path.
a Beagle Spitz mix. which they picked up as a pup from their Aunt Karina. Chris grew very attached to the dog, displaying a fondness and arguably a love rarely shown for anything or anyone else in his life. In 1990, Bob co-hosted a jazz marathon on WTJU radio. During the program, he displayed his keen knowledge on 20s and 30s jazz music.
Okay, now we go on to performance number 2, which is Tight Like That. This is November the 9th, 1928, with Chicago personnel, the Tampa Red's Hokum Jug Band. There's a great group
is
of
my
Chicago
chat not working?
musicians featuring kazoo, guitar, and jug by Hudson Whitaker.
Wait a minute.
Tampa Red's guitar,
My
Thomas
chat
J.
is not
Dorsey on the
working.
piano
What
and
in the fuck?
washboard. Frankie Half-Pipe Jackson. Vocals interact to make this a
Because
great
I think
session.
somebody actually was
Listen for
talking in
some
chat
very
and
good
my
kazoo and
overlay
jugs.
didn't
And
pop
notice how
off.
Half-Pint
What the
Jackson
hell?
laughs like scat singing. Very unusual.
Boop, 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 boop.
1990 also marked the last year of Chris's tenure
Courtney
at
J.
Greene County
Bryant.
Primary School. For his 4th grade studies, he transferred
Yeah, hey,
to
what's up?
Nathaniel Green
Thanks for
Elementary
dropping
School.
in.
It was
Sorry,
here where he
I
allegedly
guess my
had very
overlay is not
distressing
working.
experiences.
Normally
He
it's
asserts
fine.
that
Let
the staff at the
me.
school didn't know how to handle autistic children and treated him cruelly. Chris contends that 5 members of staff abused him by pinning him down to the ground,
Get this
holding
old
his
boy
wrists
started
and
again
ankles,
here.
and audio taping his cries. Furthermore, he
Let me pause this real quick and see if I can get it to work there. Try saying something now, Chief. Yeah, none of my shit's working. I'm trying this, it's got a new dual stream thing going on there, and I guess it's being a little bit of a bitch. What? Yeah, it's not going through. What the hell? Well, I do have one thing I could do. Ah. You want to get a collar like Hassan's dog? Huh? You don't want that. Sit your little butt back in that chair, please. Oh, look at you. Good girl. Little three-legged wonder. No, sit back there. We ain't going nowhere for a little bit. No, we're chilling. We gotta get this working. Gotta get it cooking again. And I gotta get a chat set up so I get back to watching some Chris chat. Shit. Blanket all set back up so we can grind for a little bit here. I'll get the old Twitch chat pulled up on the phone here, that way I can answer y'all back. I feel bad. There we go. I got the chat pulled up. We're good.
Claimed that the principal forced him to sit on his lap and said offensive things to him. But little
Jesus.
Christopher resisted, and the advances never went further than that.
That's
the principal
awful.
is also claimed to be gay, which Chris feels justifies his homophobia. I was
What the
abused by
hell?
one. A homosexual principal at my elementary school slapped me on his lap, said some offensive things to me, and I felt uncomfortable. Even though Chris's accounts of the events could not be verified, it is also not unlikely that an event like this could have taken place. Though Chris never specified the reasoning behind their attacks, nor did he state whether him being restrained and being assaulted by the principal were separate or related events, it is possible that he may have been restrained and verbally abused as a form of disciplinary action, and even placed in a scream room, which was a fairly common school installation for dealing with autistic children up until the mid-1990s. Whatever events transpired, it forced Chris's parents to take him away from Nathaniel Green Elementary School. To further things,
To be fair though, I think a lot of schools at that time specifically weren't really equipped with people. I don't think they had the resources available to handle like certain calibers of mentally deficient children, whether it be, due to a disability or just, being slow in general. Because, like, if you just weren't smart at it, at a certain subject, and, like, you didn't grasp it at all, like, say English, for example, dog. Like, if you couldn't learn to read, you're basically just like, oh, yeah, just put him with the handicapped kids, and it's like, he's not handicapped, though, he just can't read. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. That's the only thing we do for that. Like, maybe if you're lucky and, like, went to a crazy good school, like, you could have gotten,
they took the case
like,
to
one-on-one
Greene County
time,
Court.
but usually they didn't have money for that.
Threatened to take Chris out of
It was like,
mainstream
hey, they didn't pay,
education
after
and
hours,
state him into a special needs school. The Chandlers dropped the case. For the remainder of the school year, he was homeschooled. It was around this tumultuous time that young Christopher had an uplifting experience that would change his life. During a shopping trip in Richmond, possibly in December 1992, but in other accounts he stated that it was 1989, he came across the Leonard Bernstein Symphony Orchestra, a show comprised of animatronic characters that is held around Christmas time at the Regency Square shopping mall. The conductor, Leonard Bernstein, is made to be fully interactive with his audience with the help of a human controller behind the scenes. On this blessed day, the turnout for the show was weak, so Chris got extra attention from the bear. When Leonard asked him his name, the person controlling the animatronic misheard it and answered back, calling him Christian. The boy took this as a profound sign and felt that he should be called Christian. In order for Chris to continue with formal education, Bob and Chris moved to Chesterfield County, while Barbara remained in the family house in Ruckersville.
I wonder if it's
Patty,
people from
so
Twitch or
working.
YouTube talking.
Christian
That could be the
Providence
difference.
Middle School in
It's like, I
Richmond.
got Twitch set
He
up.
looked back fondly over his time here, giving special credit to his teacher Virginia Sanford. She was the most influential teacher in my life. During my years at Providence Middle School, she taught me better social skills, how to better cope with other people, bullies, and life. With a positive and fun tomboyish attitude, she was a teacher any child would be most proud to look up to and be taught by. He also forged a friendship with Natasha Turner, a girl a few years older than him. He lost romantic interest
Go
in
ahead and
her when
snag
he
some
saw her
death
smoking.
runes.
They would often hang out together at the bus stop. He would sometimes give her money on behalf of his father for her friendship and attention.
I don't
Chris
know.
would
If
later
we pay enough
realize
to do
that
something, we'll
Natasha
probably
was,
have to pay
in a sense,
a little
a
over.
friend with benefits. She would stay with him and be friendly in exchange for a monetary reward from Bob. Bob knew that his son had little hope in forming true friendships otherwise.
The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the cool new TV show, is on the air.
In the fall of '93, Sega, the video game developer, held a watch and win sweepstakes contest in conjunction with their Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. The lucky winner would get a $1,000 shopping
probably
spree at
YouTube.
KB Toys. And that winner was Chris.
Christian is one of only about 100 winners nationally to receive $1,000 worth of Sega games and equipment. For his parents, it's just another example of how well he's doing. Christian is a high-functioning autistic child. This past fall, on his own initiative, he entered a contest based on a favorite cartoon character.
I had to do was exactly what Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, and I'd listen to what Sonic says at the end of it. And
Let me go to my
write it down
YouTube
for a
app
whole
and
week,
see if like the
and then I had to
dashboard
mail
for it will
in
show
to
that chat.
he's drawn out of a hat,
Because I
and
don't think
just won.
anybody's probably
And Christian's
hitting the
father said it only takes a few hours for him to master an electronic game.
Yeah, see,
and then
there we go.
move on to another. I can't master any of them. That's it for now, and it's
This is the first of many competitions that he entered during his life and has cemented itself as a likely key reinforcer
Hey,
to his
Courtney,
future sense of
try talking
entitlement.
now.
how well he is getting along.
On December 29th,
Not talking too much because I'm
1993,
sick.
the
Yeah,
Richmond
it's on
Times
YouTube. Okay,
Dispatch
so that's why I'm
published an
not seeing it.
article about Christian's magical encounter
I
with
see
Leonard
now.
Bernstein,
That makes
entitled,
sense.
"It Took a Talking Bear to Give the Name a Young Boy Loves." The boy's father recounts the events of the day. Since this was early in the Christmas season, on a Thursday afternoon, the crowd was light. The conversation between Leonard and Christopher lasted about an hour.
Oh.
Christopher was spellbound. Something unusual happened during that conversation. When Leonard Bernstein, in a decidedly British accent, asked
Give me that.
Christopher his name, the bear must have misunderstood what the boy replied. Leonard started calling our son Christian. What better name for the Christmas season? And the name stuck like glue. From that time on, for the past year, his name has been Christian Weston Chandler. Christian is very emphatic about that. Bob also offered up some insight into the family's situation. Christopher is a high-functioning autistic child. While intellectually, his age level is 12 or 13, socially, he is around age 7 or 8. He has some behavior problems with his peers and relates better with children a few years younger than him. The Greene County school system was not equipped to teach an autistic child, Mr. Chandler said. The Chesterfield County school system has
Oh, fuck,
accepted him
prayer.
with open
Yeah,
arms.
we need our prayer.
The article
We'll make
also
these runs a little bit
mentions that
longer.
Bob had originally wanted to name his son Christian, but had chickened out. It is unclear what scared him off from naming his child Christian. In any case, the following year, the boy had his name legally changed to Christian Weston Chandler. In the spring of '96, Barbara retired from her secretarial position at Virginia Power and moved in with Bob and Chris, reuniting the boy with Patty the dog. In late spring, Chris graduated from Providence Middle School. As a parting gift, Mrs. Sanford wrote a personal, touching, and prophetic letter to Chris. Well, it's been 3 years now at Providence, and it's all over. Where has the time gone to? The most important parting words I can leave you with, well, are to always remember this. You show people where your weak points are located. Then they will know how to push your button. If you never show them, they will never know. I hope you will have an enjoyable summer and come back to visit. Do your very best at Manchester, put your best foot forward, and treat others as you wish to be treated. Love, Mrs. Sanford. The
Mrs.
Manchester
Stanford.
in question happened to be Manchester High School, where, according to Christian, he spent the happiest years of his life. Over the course of 4 semesters, he studied Spanish, of which he has a very loose grasp. For class assignments, he adopted a Spanish name, Ricardo, a common practice for students in order to better get into character and the culture of the language. However, Christian got too into character and often used Ricardo in class assignments outside of Spanish and even considers it as part of his real name.
It's fucked.
When riding on the school bus, he used to sit right in front of the bus door so he could always get off the fastest. However, during his freshman year, he got
What's
into
up,
an
Courtney?
altercation
I
with
see your
another boy
messages this
who
time. I
wanted
got
to be
something
off
set
the
up where I
bus
can actually
first.
see him.
He punched Christian in the face.
I'll try not the new
knocking his
dual
glasses
stream
off.
thing.
In order to resolve the issue, Chris was forced to take the special ed bus to school from then on,
Welcome,
which
welcome.
deeply affected him. He always felt very uncomfortable associating with others whom he called slow in the minds.
Slow
I
in
ended
the
up
minds.
with this really worse off mentally challenged person who could hardly ever speak other than
Nope.
"Brr."
Ghost story.
That boy bopped me on the back of the head for his own laughs. The special ed teacher who rode on the bus talked with his brother about it, and he kept him from bopping me. But having to put up with his nonsensical slur talk was
Hope you
still
get to
just
feeling
as
better,
cringy
Courtney.
and horrifying. Ugh. Among his other activities, he served as a water boy and allegedly a manager for the school basketball team, the Manchester Lancers, along with Joseph Herring, one of Christian's only male friends.
What are you doing?
Chris had always gravitated towards girls, and at Manchester, this was no exception.
This was
He
no
had a sizable
exception.
group of female friends, which he dubbed gal pals.
Gal pals.
Among the first that he met was Molly Quarles, a cheerleader at the time whom he met as a freshman. He fondly remembered them being paired up during a matchup event for Valentine's Day.
Let's get it
Laura
on.
Beth D'Orazio was another cheerleader Chris met and fell for, but after he confessed that he had a crush on her, she told him that she would like them to remain just as friends. Tiffany Gowan was said to be a real good girl to Chris, and he has described her as a bit of a tomboy and a peppermint patty to his Charlie Brown.
Man, that's
Kelly
such an old
Andes was his
reference.
biggest crush, and
Peppermint
says
patty
they
to
were
his
high school
Charlie Brown.
sweethearts, even though they were never in an actual relationship together.
I mean, for
Sarah
her time,
Bevel
she looks
was in the
good.
same chemistry
I can
class,
understand
along
why
with
Chris is
Kelly
into
and
that.
Chris. Sarah had a boyfriend at the time, and Chris watched them interact, hoping to experience that kind of relationship one day.
Oof.
It was fun to just watch them flirt with each other. I
Man,
could have learned from that.
look at that mustache and everything with the big rims.
But
I
my
would kill to have
autism
a pair of
and normal
glasses
social
like that.
phobias held me back then. Miranda Mitchell was the big brain in his circle of friends and shared
Hey, you're
computer
good,
graphics
Courtney.
class with Christian.
I appreciate you
His group of
stopping in
gal
today.
pals were possibly not genuinely
I don't know if you're into
interested in a
old school
friendship with Chris,
RuneScape or
but rather stayed
maybe
with
it's
him
Chris
out of
Chan that
pity
brought you
or as
by, but
protection. A later comment made by Chris
I'm glad to
suggested
have
that
you,
the
Chief.
group had made an arrangement with Bob and or the principal of the high school. Concerning schoolwork, there is a wealth of information that has been attained which helps to refute his previous claims that he held an honor roll streak all throughout high school. For one of his assignments, he had to conduct an interview with his parents, offering some more information about their life experiences. For the question, "Why did you choose to have children?" they answered, "It's nice to have kids." For "What adjustments did you have to make after your first child arrived?" they answered, "Laughter from 4 kids and 3 situations," referring to the troubled past marriages and estranged children. Interestingly, when asked about what has been the hardest part about parenting, the answer was dealing with the school system. In another assignment concerning
Dealing with the
families,
school
Chris
system.
inserted mathematical equations into his definitions, making them hard to read and understand. For example, he defined a nuclear family as a mother, father, and X is more than or equal to 1 child sharing the same household.
Kind of
He also
crazy.
described adoption as a right to raise a child who is biologically their own. Christian took part in
Such a
parenting
weird way to describe the
exercise in
nuclear
which he wore
family.
an empathy belly to simulate the feeling of being a pregnant woman. He wrote a report describing his experience. Having a belly like a pregnant woman was really an awkward experience. When I tried to get my pencil bag out of my backpack, the belly held me back by putting pressure on my left leg. Luckily, my arms were long, but if they were any shorter, I would have had a real problem to reach the pencil bag.
Yeah.
While I was sitting in my chair, the belly made it uncomfortable for me to cross my legs, and while my legs were separated, it put pressure on my private part, which gave me a strange, weird feeling.
What the
He wrote
fuck?
an essay about Japan's involvement in World War II. It should be noted that he addressed himself as Ricardo W. Chandler, with Christian placed in parentheses,
W. Chandler.
and wrote English in
What?
Spanish. The teacher justly corrected this. According to Chris, the war was a very tragic event, with guns, insults, and yuck. He continues, "The Japanese and Americans had deemed glowering at each other like boxers from opposite corners of a 5,000-mile ring, waiting for
don't-
the bout to begin. So, the US and Japan really wanted to get it on." He also quoted that President
think
Woodrow
that's-
Wilson tried to get Japan to withdraw from Shandong.
What?
Christian's essay ended up being a mishmash of events of both
What the fuck? That was his essay? Jesus. Welcome back, Courtney.
world wars. In addition, he referenced several
No
books.
key.
However, all of his findings could be found within the first 8 pages.
The first day.
The
Hey.
teacher commented,
No shame in
"Please
that one,
state
Chief.
thesis." There is a page titled Warm Fuzzies for Christian W. Chandler, which most likely was a class activity in which the students wrote nice things to each other in order to promote acceptance. The messages left for Chris read very bland, such as, "I like your clothes," "is a very funny and nice person," "Okay, funny," "you are a nice person," "nice watch," "you
Nice watch. Imagine if Chris Chan of that day was just coming into class with a fucking Richard Mille on. Absolutely flexing.
tell great jokes,
My boys at
and
Nintendo.
you tell fun jokes." But perhaps the most baffling piece of writing that there is on record is his 13 lucky writing tips, an assignment for English class, in which he switches 4 tips in to what most closely resembles Spanish. In any case, it is little more than unintelligible garble. Use standard written English. Do not use contractions in formal writing.
Like
You
Square
must
Shield
have a
will take
thesis
that.
statement in each essay. The thesis statement es el finale estancia de introductory
What?
paragrafe. Tu escribes de
So he just
literature.
switches up to
El
Spanish halfway
thesis
through an
include
essay?
el llama de author y llama de work. Los paragraphs soporte y relate que el
What?
thesis. Los paragraphs tienes el topic estancias hablan el unifying
That's
concepto
fucking
de el
wild, bro.
paragraph. Los details support y relate a el topic estance de paragraph.
No wonder people
Necesitas
followed this guy
adecuarte
around for
soporte
years.
details. Escribe el literatore el presente tense. Necesitas tres muchacho mirar de puente. Necesitas creas muy bien. Tu escribes creas sense y es muy logical. Cheques tu escribir muy carefully. From this school report, it can be seen that he
Kill him.
failed all but 2 of his 14 assignments,
There it
earning
is.
a D+ for the year.
Felt everything.
At
Hey,
age
there's a
16,
key.
Chris wrote a poem
That's what we're
entitled
talking
Song
about.
of Christian for his class, loosely based on Walt
Stack them
Whitman's Song of
keys.
Myself. He decided to record his creation for posterity in video form. The video itself is poorly lit, but there isn't much to see anyway.
I hear America singing as I sing of myself, and you experience as I experience. The problems of yourself are my problems. The youth of the young singing cries of happiness. The children's song is song of laughter. At age 6 weeks, I sang this song of laughter. Then at 1.5 years of age, the Lord clicked the mute button on me. My song that I
The Lord
sing,
clicked the mute button
although
on
I
me.
talk well, my peer relationship is low, and my loneliness is off the scale.
I feel that though.
Anyway, that's my poem.
Beyond just reciting the poem, he pretends to be the enthusiastic host of the Christian Chandler Show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Christian Chandler Show. Where you get lots of laughs and all that neat old stuff.
Ooh,
Now,
another
here
key.
is the host with the most, Christian
Bang it.
Chandler.
Don't open it. Just drop them. Open it up. Take the key. Go back
Good
over
evening,
here.
friends,
Give us
and welcome to
this.
the Christian Chandler Show. I am your host, Christian Chandler.
He then rambles on about his fascination with the Sonic the Hedgehog universe and talks about Bionic the Hedgehog, his
I'm
first
gonna write.
Sonic-related creation,
Hell yeah,
which he
Chief.
came up with during basketball
Have fun
practice.
writing.
And then I have science
Thanks for
fiction
dropping in
that
again. I
counts,
really
of course,
appreciate it.
that flies, Nicholas, he punches and climbs.
I'll
And
be
my
here
yarn.
grinding out
Well,
some
you heard
keys and
rumors
watching
about
the old
Bionic.
Chris Chan.
He's that science brother I made myself, who's that very good basketball player and mechanic. I can tell you the background story on him.
He proceeds to rant about receiving an F in English class.
I see about God, that's about time I sign off. But before I go, I have just one thing to say to the teacher. An F in English!
Wait. Is he complaining about getting an F in English? He didn't even write in English. He wrote in Spanish. What the fuck do you mean, my guy? You got an F because you wrote in a whole different language.
Kidding me. I mean an F. I do not even know when was the last time I got an F. I mean, who knows? It could have been back in old Green County. That stupid place. Yeesh. That Green County primary. Actually, it was a nice school, but then the
3 for 3 on keys.
That's why
Hell
I got
yeah.
the F. Anyway, then that year
Don't
goes
open
by.
it.
Then you came
Drop
along
'em.
and gave me an F. I mean, I started off with an 8, and you just lowered it. I'm getting sick and tired of this lower thing. What do you have against the handicapped children anyway? I mean, I know my handicap is is autism, and I'm not afraid to admit it. And you, Mrs. Bird, I think that F is very disrespectful. I mean, I am very
That's like
emotional
low-key
about it.
entitlement.
Anyway, it's time
It's
I
kind of
sign off.
crazy.
Well, this has been the Christian Chandler Show.
It's
Around
wild.
the same time, he made a series of stop-motion videos
Stop.
of races
Don't hit
set
me.
in his Lego-made town called Quickville, based on his own initials. They were made with a Game Boy camera,
the
which
fuck?
produced grainy,
Oh, Game Boy
low-resolution
camera.
grayscale photos, or alternatively, low-quality stop-motion video. The awkward frame rate makes it difficult
On
to discern
Twitch,
what
I
is
have some
actually
people.
going on, but
I haven't
it
been
is
on
important to
YouTube in
note
a hot
that all
minute,
the racers
honestly.
are named either after
It's kind of my
pop culture
first day back
characters
on
that Christian
YouTube in a
idolized,
while.
or people he knew in real life. This is the earliest account of Chris using people to play out his fantasies.
The biggest trend in kids' toy history, it's multi-billion dollar.
Throughout the late 1990s,
Um,
the Pokemon franchise was spreading across North America, with Chris keeping a keen eye on it. He began playing the trading card game and included illustrations of Pokemon characters
Trying
in
to
his
think.
Spanish homework. He also
Wait,
wrote
what?
a lengthy essay detailing how the Pokemon came into their Pokeballs,
Into
with
their
which his teacher was
Pokeballs?
very pleased. The year 1999 marked the
People that I can subscribe to. Not yet. Not yet. Not on YouTube. If you want to look up 333 Jackson or 333 Jackson, I'll spell that for you. 333 JAXON on Twitch. He's a homie who does some other type of content on Twitch. Does a little bit of gamble, a little bit of Pokemon, a little bit of everything. You need to drop in over there and give him a little checksies. Does some really nice content.
birth of his wall of originals. This was a designated portion of the wall which displayed Pokemon trading cards that Chris made himself. It featured original Pokemon such as a female Pikachu called Chikachu and Plotistic, a plant which is autistic. Chris
Plotistic.
himself also appeared several times. His fascination grew
Don't
to the
have
point that he
Twitch.
would dress up as the Pokemon character Ash Ketchum out in public. Around mid-1999, Christian launched his first website, a simple Pokemon-themed effort humbly called Quick's Pokesite, cementing the moniker Quick. It was soon replaced by Quick's Pokesite 2, with a new logo designed by Miranda.
What? Not old enough to have Twitch. I don't think I have anybody that you can really sub to on YouTube. I don't have any friends on here that I stream with. You'll just have to check the old lives and bounce around. That is weird. That is a bit weird. Oh shit, no, don't open it. Don't open the box, just open it after we drop the keys. Very important step.
He
That is
updated
weird.
it with personal and Pokemon
I remember those
related news
days whenever
here
you just had shared
semi-regularly
accounts.
for the next year
Those
and
were
a half.
rough.
This year also marked Christian's first visit to the Game Place, a game
Oh,
and
the Game
hobby store,
Place.
which allowed returning customers to play video games, board games, or trading card games. It quickly became his weekly haunt. The Pokemon
Oh, you're
craze was
okay.
captured on
You're
film
okay,
for
Chief. You're
Richmond's
fine.
NBC affiliates WWBT
It's no big deal.
News. The report featured
I wish I was more
excitement
entertaining
kids
for
playing
you,
the game
honestly.
and trying to
You
explain
just,
the phenomenon.
I took a decent break from streaming,
Their bewildered
and
parents
I'm just now
standing
coming back
witness,
for a few days.
I'm watching and I still have no clue.
and the 17-year-old Chris in action.
Didn't he like win a big giveaway or something? Slam attack.
To commemorate Valentine's Day of the year 2000, Christian wrote a Valentine's Day
Oh,
hymn,
more of these
a free verse
dumb
effort in which
plants.
he reveals
Get-
that he holds very traditional views on
Get outta
courtship
here.
and the predetermined rules of etiquette for men and women. On a date, the man could not pay the bill, so his date slammed her door in his face. The man's coat over a puddle. The maiden walks. Then the man trips and pays the laundry bill. Under the moonlight, the couples of the world kiss.
What?
Unfortunately for a few, they are interrupted
Oh, right
by their
before he
parents.
dies too. Come on.
He uploaded it onto his website. 10 days later, Chris celebrated his 18th birthday, a date which he held in the highest regard. Among the guests in
18th
attendance
birthday.
were a handful of Christian's gal pals and his
Okay,
half-brother
give us
Cole.
a key.
Nearly 3 years after the fact, he
No
reminisced about the event. I will never forget my 18th birthday party. It was the best of the rest. The weekend before my real birthday,
It was
my
the
mother and I
best of the
prepared for
rest.
the party I was going to host that day. We hung balloons and streamers, and we laid refreshments on the table.
What's crazy is, like, I've watched a video or two live, and I think in the next volume of Chris Chan's life, we get to see a little bit more of how he, like, actually speaks, and that is very eerie how well this man is able to capture how this individual speaks.
The door
It's kind of
was 4
crazy.
of my high school amigas, and one of them brought a friend.
I also
We
think
ate
that's what he
pepperoni pizza
wrote,
and
like,
drank
verbatim.
Pepsi. It was great. As mother
It
lit
was
the
great.
candles,
Oh my,
I was filling
more
up
growth
with
links.
ecstasy.
Get out of here, bro.
After I blew
Get,
the candles, I was
stop
presented with
beaming
a
me
big
with the green
Jawbreaker
blob.
from Kelly, an R.L. Stein novel from Sarah, a planer with stickers from Miranda, and a rabbit doll with jelly beans from Tiffany. We watched Good Burger and had fun.
Good Burger.
After they left, it was done.
That's old.
What did I wish for?
It's old now.
I'm not telling. Even though he seemed pleased that his gal pals came to celebrate, he was never pictured together with them,
Dude,
preferring to sit
spamming these
alone.
growthlings.
He is also photographed wearing a pair of jeans with a suspicious stain on his crotch. Some
There
have
we go.
speculated that it is dried semen, but it is unlikely. About
No
a
key.
month later, Chris was tasked with designing a CD jewel case for his graphic design class.
Reset.
On the fateful day, on March 17th, 2000, I wanted to feature on my favorite hit CD cover, Lifelong Hero, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Bro, look at that banger. Why is homie coming all the way over here just to beat me? Take a step back, dang.
And cute, newer character, Pikachu, but copyrighted characters were prohibited from the project. So, in my mind,
Get him out
I
of here.
pondered and pondered. When it hit me visually,
I
Sonic
pondered
and
and
Pikachu
pondered.
combined. In a way to escape copyright, he combined Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu to create Sonichu, the electric hedgehog Pokemon, which
Bro, look at that. Okay, that's not fair. Even those damn growthlings, bro. Whoa, 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 whoa. Eat you a second one real quick, and then bap him out. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Christian considers to be one of
That
his greatest
is
life accomplishments.
crazy.
The CD tracklist itself consists of Pokemon, Sonic, and Mario-related music,
Oh, I just
with
used the
intermittent
key.
appearances of
No.
old-time jazz from artists such as Frank
Damn.
Sinatra and Bing Crosby, undoubtedly an influence from his father.
Go back.
Another month later,
We gotta replace
Chris
the key
had to
now.
document a week of his life for a school project.
What is that? Are you talking about the... That's homie's album cover that he made from... What I guess Sonic and Pokemon put together. Calls it Sonichu. And it is it's kind of a big deal. I think he made comics and everything of Sonichu. Like it's a big thing. Big thing for this guy. Very strange. Hold up.
The result was A Week with Christian W. Chandler, a self-documentary, which detailed the events of his life from April 29th to May 5th, 2000.
Give me a key. 'Cause I gotta
The
replace
front
that
cover
one.
features a blurry photo of Chris and Patty, with a discolored, ghostly Sonic below. He writes it in the third person, as if followed by a documentary crew. On April 29th, he visits Books A Million to participate in the Pokemon Trading Card Game League. Afterwards, he enters a costume contest, and since he wore his regular Ash Ketchum outfit, he wins and receives a cool t-shirt as a reward. The following day, he talks about packing and moving things from their home in Richmond to their old house in Ruckersville. The next day, he goes to high school. He uses a tripod to help take pictures of himself. During class, Mr. Goss discussed the difference between Shakespeare's world and the real world of today. Christian rested his eyes after Mr. Goss's discussion and before the bell rang. Next, he had trigonometry. I'd hate to be Christian when his nerves kicked into action after waking up from a noddy snooze cruise, but I was. Next was computer graphics. It was great for him today because he got to print his own CD cover.
Yeah, that was a CD cover.
He took a quiz today, but I think he feels confident in his work. And finally, after a hard, odd day, he rides home on a bus, but unfortunately, it had a few slow in the minds on it.
I mean, he's riding the
The
short
following
bus,
day,
dog.
He repeats the
Of course
routine
there's gonna be a few
snoozing
people
through
that's like
class,
that.
and that on even days, he eats lunch with Tiffany and Sarah. For the following day,
Bro,
he
man's had
describes his
so
daily
many people
activities
chilling
at
with
home,
him.
which mostly consist of playing video games and managing his website. The next day,
Then again, he
talks
said the
about
Sarah
working in
chick, like, his
computer
dad
graphics
basically
class
paid
and
her.
making a Mother of the Year award for Barbara, which he plans to give to her on Mother's Day. For the final day's report,
Can you
Chris states that it was a difficult
get him out of
Friday.
here?
One of his
Pretty
duties
please,
included
I do
taking
not
part
have
in a
any
senior
more
group
HP to
photo.
spare.
After the long wait for the
Yeah,
pictures to be
thank you.
taken, being crowded
give me a
like a
key.
sardine surrounded by immature teenage
No key.
boys, and having the hot, hot sun shining down on him and everyone else, he went back to the shady entrance. After the photo shoot, Chris was picked
Take
up by
me to
his dad.
Varrock.
And that concludes our week-long documentary of A Week with Christian W. Chandler, the autistic boy that has made it this far. Close parentheses.
Like 3 days?
Chris wouldn't pass up an opportunity to go to the senior prom, so he did, bringing his mother along as a date.
Damn.
Even though Christian had labeled the set of photos as the senior prom, it is possible that it was some other social gathering, due to the fact that the event is held during the daytime. Looking back on the prom, he claimed that he was naive
Shit,
about
we gotta
dating,
eat.
unlike the other students. Out of pity, or out of genuine compassion, Tiffany asked Christian to dance. I hesitated at first, but she grabbed my hand and pulled me onto the dance floor. We danced for what felt like hours. It was the most pleasant experience of that night, and I thank her for dancing with me then. He felt that her willingness to dance with him meant that she was attracted to him, and stated that if they were to meet again, they would start a relationship.
I don't know, man. I feel like you're kind of...
Graduation. The end
Me
of
being
high school.
schizophrenic, like, I could
The end
totally
of his
understand
interactions with
range.
his gal pals.
Delusions of
importantly,
grandeur, but like...
It was the day Christian had to
wow.
be recognized for his achievements. But unfortunately, this wasn't the case. I only got recognized for my grades with a star pin, yet they had more fancier awards for more important qualities.
I
I should have
mean...
been highly recognized for my artistic talents I showed in my many art classes for the award ceremonies before graduation day. I felt crestfallen greatly from not getting recognized for any of my talents. I excelled in math too, for the love of God. I was so jealous.
Damn.
I was a high-functioning autistic boy who came way beyond out of his social shell, only to get zilch, nada, zip, a big fat zero. I felt so devastated and out of sync. As a result of his heartbreak, he only went up on stage to receive his diploma without looking at anyone's face nor shaking anyone's hand. After the ceremony was over, he found
Damn.
himself an unoccupied table, sat by it, and cried. Eventually, his mother and later Tiffany came to console him. His father would look back on this event with shame and anger for years to come. Christian's time at high school is still thought of fondly by him, recalling his sweet memories of creating artistic projects for class and frequently hanging out with his gal pals, all of which were abruptly ended with that gloomy, rainy graduation.
I get that,
But
though.
with the end of high school came the promise of a new world in college, a chance for new friends, new experiences, and the first steps to a brighter future.
Alright, part 2.
What made him this way? What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan. In the year 2000, the Chandlers came back to their family home in Ruckersville, and in August, at the behest of his parents, Christian began attending Piedmont, Virginia Community College, where the highest level degree students could attain was an associate degree. Perhaps spellbound by illusions of grandeur, Chris chose to study marketing, but Bob quickly transferred him to a computer-aided drafting and design degree, in the hopes that it would be a better fit for his challenged son and his future. According to the PVCC handbook of the time, this was a 2-year degree, worth 15 credits.
I mean, to be fair though, his dad putting him in like a computer-aided drafting design class, I feel like that's just like a hella smart call at the time, because that's like...
In addition, he took English classes.
That was before computers really
class.
took off, so the dude's getting a hella good deal to go up there and get a damn good start on something that's...
more cards to his wall of originals, creating cards representing, among others, his
I don't
beloved
know.
Sonichu.
I don't know. I feel like that would have been a banger option, like huge missed opportunity.
To his original character. Over the course of the year, the Sonichu family grew. He created Soni, Sonichu's pre-evolutionary form, and dedicated a...
Bro, look at this card. Look at this. What? Soni-chan? Golly, brother. He was in college when he made that. To be fair, I don't think I could do any better. You know what? I would like to hope that with the technology I now have currently, that I could come up with something somewhat better. You know, it would not be as original as what, you know, it would not be. It could not be as original as what this is. I don't think it could be. It's just on a whole nother level. Like, you couldn't make this shit up.
Trading card to him. He also gave Sonichu a female companion, Rose Chu, based on Amy Rose from the Sonic franchise.
I mean, that looks exactly like Amy
school,
Rose.
Contact with his gal pals was lost, apart from Kelly. He claimed to have called her every weekend for about a year.
Oh, there's a key to replace the one I
Christmas
messed up
year,
on.
Christian made her a CD entitled Songs for
key,
Kelly
boy.
as his gift.
Give me that key.
He incorporated a mini Sonichu into the artwork. Winter of 2000 is also significant, for that was when Chris created his Sonichu medallion, made of...
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh. This is one of the, like, world's most cemented pictures on the internet. Ugh. Oh, man. A lot of history behind that
Crayola
photo.
Model Magic.
Oh, and look at the wall. Look at the wall behind him of original Pokemon cards. This man's got his own 151 collection. I am very interested to know if there's any of those still out there alive. And, like, how much it would be to get one original, man. Like, that would be such a huge collector's item. I want to know. I want to know if the set's still rocking.
Acrylic paints.
Or if, like, they've managed to get him to throw any away.
I bought some Crayola Model Magic clay, and I molded and crafted the first original Sonichu medallion that I wore around my neck, with a makeshift chain, which I later replaced with a better necklace I bought from Pacific Sunwear at my mall. He would rarely be seen without it. The following year, he continued to develop the lore around Sonichu, which included creating an offspring for Rosechu called Rosie, and designing an Archie Comics cover for Sonic the Hedgehog vs. Sonichu.
Oh, brother. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. That right there, baby, that is grade A money. That's money right there, boys.
For his mother's 60th birthday, he made her a
Nintendo
cake
wishes they had
with
that.
Sonichu on it. In July, he filmed the City of Quickville tour using the stop-motion feature on his Game Boy camera.
That's
The
pretty
town in
dope,
question
though.
was his yet unfinished Quickville made of Lego. He still hadn't settled on a naming system yet, so he spells it in 2 different ways. First with an I, then with an I and a K. The tour
You know,
is led
the
by a Lego incarnation
Quickieville
of Christian, and
seems
he
a
shows
little
2 landmarks of
counterintuitive at the
town,
time now,
the water
like
tower
looking back.
and go-kart pass, before the video abruptly ends, possibly due to the Game Boy camera only having the capacity to hold 30 frames at a time. In August,
That's still
Christian got a job
mildly
at
impressive.
Wendy's. He
30
was
frames
mostly
at a
in
time,
charge
and he
of
still
cleaning
managed to
trays,
rock out that
tables,
much.
and carpet tile flooring, keeping the place neat and serving the customers with kind, understanding help. He alleges that he never quite saw eye to eye with his supervisor, who disagreed with Chris's way of operating. According to one supposed event, he got his uniform dirty, and despite it being likely that he could have swapped with a clean spare at the establishment.
You know, in all honesty, it doesn't surprise me he didn't have a great time at work, because, like, the dude wrote Spanish in English class, and absolutely was livid that he didn't get like at least a C. So I find it very believable that his manager and him didn't see exactly eye to eye. Something just tells me that's going to be a reoccurring motif.
He proceeded to continue to work with his sullied attire, and even attempted to wash it in the bathroom sink.
Oh,
According
buddy.
to Christian,
The bathroom
a female
sink?
coworker gave him a hard time, pelting him with criticisms and insults, perhaps mistaking her constructive criticisms for attacks against his person. He also admitted he took breaks frequently, neglecting other duties. Chris was fired from Wendy's in September or October 2001 for a number of possible
Oh, it was
reasons.
Wendy's.
One of the most popular motives for his dismissal was that he performed a Donald Duck impression to a child at the restaurant, bringing him to tears. In other accounts, he said that he was fired after he drew an unflattering caricature of an older female coworker.
I want to know what that picture looked like, bro. Also, he probably scared the bejesus out of some child and, like, guaranteed made them cry. Guaranteed scared the living shit out of some... Had to be, brother. Had to be. Absolutely.
His termination was
Has
likely
to
a
be so
culmination of
scared.
these events. It was also around this time that Chris
Sucks he got
ended his
fired,
weekly
though.
calls to Kelly. He gave conflicting reasons for this. He first
Oh,
stated
another
that he
round of
suffered from
growth points. Wow,
noviophobia,
thank you.
a term he coined, which he defines as a fear of speaking to a woman who may already be in a relationship.
Wait,
which
what?
convinced him that he first stated that he suffered from noviophobia, a term he coined, which he defines as a fear of speaking to a woman who may already be in a relationship, which convinced him that his
What?
calls were in vain. Initially, Chris stated that he was told by his mother that Kelly most likely already had a boyfriend, so he might as well quit his attempts. But later, he changed his story, saying that he came to that realization all by himself. In other retellings,
All by
he said
himself?
that he simply forgot to
I
call
bet
her
you
one
did, Chief.
weekend, and after he broke the
Bet you let him
routine,
know what was
he
up.
didn't want
I
to
didn't really
continue.
like her anyways. Has nothing to do
On
with the
February
fact that
24th, 2003,
or the old ass
Christian
big
spent a
dude over
tearful
there
21st
giving me the
birthday.
stink.
For some reason, he was kicked out of English class by his male and possibly gay professor. Like many
Men caught a
historical
little bit of
accounts his
Darwinism
life,
and said,
he keeps
I
changing the
think I'm gonna
story.
stop playing around
First,
over there.
he said that the class was reading the book Wednesday's Child, which featured an autistic girl. He recounted that he told the professor that he was autistic as well, which resulted in a misunderstanding and Chris being forced to leave the class. Alternatively, he admitted to causing a disruption in class.
How does man get thrown out for being autistic?
Explanations you'd likely hear from a black person
When he's
in
autistic.
church, which prompted his dismissal
Wait,
from the
what?
classroom.
Bro, that's
This
racist.
ejection
as
further
fuck.
increased his hate for men and gay men in general.
He probably
and
didn't know
further
any better
convinced
though
him
at that
of
time.
launching a pursuit to find true love.
Damn, growthlings for days.
In order to meet whom he called a boyfriend-free girl, he launched his love quest. However,
Love
finding
quest.
that one special person in his life wasn't going to be easy. Christian didn't feel like he had the confidence to.
Okay, look at the switch up in the drawings now. That's insane. Man's actually got a little bit of the penmanship on that one. I wonder how long it took though. It's a very interesting question. How long did it take for him to get that specific
To approach women
picture?
on his own volition,
Like,
due to the infinitely high
caricature
boyfriend
perfect.
factor. This term refers to the very high probability that any girl to whom he spoke already had a boyfriend, making it close to impossible to find his coveted boyfriend-free girl.
I guarantee you, though, this man had no shortage of him being like, so you got a boyfriend? And they're just like, yep, you got it. Just to not have a, like, see this dude.
By extension, every man
Guarantee you, wearing this weird-ass medallion coming up. What's the chances of me slipping in those? Slipping in those jeans tonight.
99.9999996% of the total male population, with a margin of error of the 4 billionth of a percent.
4 billionth of a percent? What?
Okay, acquaintances. Those doofs get all the luck, having a sweetheart to care for and to be cared from, getting all the hugs.
I gotta wonder though. Maybe it's the dude's standards. Like if you're going over there asking Mia Khalifa if you can hit, he's probably not gonna get a very, very good response ratio. Maybe the math's a little off,
and the
my guy.
security of a solid future without loneliness and with love and children. And besides that, my autism is not much help on the programming of my mind. Sigh. Oh, my life.
Oh, my life. Oh, my life. Oh, my goodness. Writes like a drama queen, though.
To combat his reluctance to approach prospective females, he devised a way in which women would approach him instead. The attraction sign. Christian created what he called an...
Brother, this man made a whole ass sign. He made a whole ass sign because he couldn't talk to women. I get that, but damn, bro.
Much like a personals ad, but in public. 21 and single white male, shy, smart, young at heart, computer skilled, humorous, a great thinker and go-getter, natural salesperson, enjoys.
Man's trying to sell himself like a job interview.
Friendly, loves his family, peaceful, very creative. He's lonely, seeking a cute 18 to 21 single female companion. 18 to 21 years of age, does not already have a boyfriend, single.
You know, he says companion, so I feel like the redundancy just probably didn't hit him on the without a boyfriend. It's very possible, but just a little extra note there. It's kind of strange in the way the man thinks.
Average to slender weight, body type, white, lives in Charlottesville or Ruckersville area, does not smoke or drink alcohol, happy, positive personality, average high income, drives a vehicle.
Average high income. Must be able to pay for my Pokemon.
If any men read this huge sign, mind your own business. And to all men with girlfriends, except marrieds and blacks, go jump.
What? Except marrieds and blacks. What the flying fuck, my boy?
Have a nice day. He would hang the sign up at the PVCC lobby and would stand or sit beside it in the hopes of attracting potential mates. Based on the attraction sign and later comments, it is clear that instead of finding the love of his life, his quest for a sweetheart was more of a quest to lose his virginity and to find a woman to mother him and financially.
So, what I'm guessing is that means, based on what other people have said from this time period, that the man really wasn't looking for a companion. He was looking for a one-night stand. That's kind of appalling if that's the way you look for a one-night stand. Like, didn't they have Craigslist?
Actually support him. Just a couple of months into his love quest, Christian was met with an obstacle. Mary Lee Walsh, the Dean of Student Affairs, tore down his attraction sign and allegedly even tore it up in front of him. According to Chris, she yelled at him in a violent manner and said that his way of doing things would not...
How do you yell in a violent manner?
...get him a girlfriend. It is likely that Walsh may have, in fact, taken down his sign and told him that it was inappropriate, as his methods were akin to soliciting sex on campus. In any case, he was deeply disheartened by this event. It literally shattered my heart to almost nothing and murdered my soul. In response to this attack, Christian made another sign.
So she got upset because he got a booty call sign in the hallway, and he got upset because, like, it was his only way to do it since he couldn't talk to women. So he was like, "Yeah, you just fucked me all up, bro." I don't know. I don't know. One of these is not very cool to have on campus. Like, I can imagine in the college you'd just be like, "Bro, please, please don't ever put this sign up again."
Which was quickly removed in a similar fashion. This was to be the beginning of Christian's make-believe conflict with Mary Lee Walsh that will haunt him for most of his adult life. As an act of catharsis, Christian wrote a poem called Saddest Heart in the World, in which he refers to Walsh in the most unkind of light. Lonesome and sad, the mastermind is very bad. In efforts of getting a boyfriend-free gal, that female dog took my only idea for a fall.
You know, probably not the smartest idea to refer to the dean of students as a bitch.
Heartbroken, sad, and very lonely, I may never remove my virginity.
Now that confirms that he was just looking for a booty call. You know, I want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, but jeez, brother, you can't just be
On April
posting your
10th,
booty calls.
Chris wrote a short story called Sonichu and Rosechu, the genesis of the Love Hogs. It establishes
Alright, now we're getting into some good right here.
the origins
Some
of
plot.
Sonichu and Rosechu, and also incorporates elements from the Sonic the Hedgehog lore, such as the Chaos Emeralds. In addition, the story features a lovely Pokemon trainer. Her name was Kel, short for Kelly. He published it on his Sonichu site. In June, Christian found work as a salesperson for Cutco, a cutlery retailer. It is unknown whether he actually managed to sell any knives. Later testimonies prove that he was still in possession of unpurchased stock, holding onto some items more than a decade after he was employed. His tenure ended in August, when his boss left the Charlottesville area. In August, the newly formed band, Christian and the Hedgehog Boys, released their debut album. The band, which was led by Christian and also featured Sonic, Sonichu, Shadow the Hedgehog.
You can hear the entire song under, like, in the background. What? Brother.
And Black Sonichu, in fact, only existed in Christian's head. The album entirely consisted of Christian singing melody-free vocals with original lyrics over existing songs being played in the background. His songs covered a range of topics, such as his search for love in So Need a Cute Girl, based on I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys.
Tell me why I'm stuck as a virgin with rage.
Autism in AUTISM, sung over the Backstreet Boys' Larger Than Life.
AUTISM, what does it mean?
And his Spanish skills.
Is that just all he had? Hey, there's another key, but I'm very curious, like, why that selection of songs? I mean, they were bangers for the time, but surely there had to be something a little more risque, huh?
In the Ricky Martin adaptation, La Cocina and
Okay, so, yeah, he got some Ricky Martin in there. He's got some heat.
La Casa de Casanova. Later that year, Chris wrote another poem, Sonichu's Ode to Rosechu, an attempt at depicting the romantic ties binding Sonichu and Rosechu.
I wish I had, like, the motivation to run a whole website like that. Like, I recently did a giveaway for a stream, and it was like, what? You know, like, it takes a lot of time to get to that level, and this man was running it. Well, I forget that, you know, that the absence of a 40-hour-a-week job really switches up the,
Oh Rosechu,
like, what you can
are as
do.
beautiful as a rose, though a zap bud is the flower that heals your woes. He once again
Can you,
reinstates his idealized views on
bap this guy out
relationships
of
between men
existence? Thank
and
you.
women. If I evolve into your knight, I will protect you with my lance. Speed makes no
Protect you
difference,
with my lance.
though you are slower than I. You dance in a field with such grace and style. Sigh. The poem
Sigh.
closes with possibly the first utterance of a variant of Christian.
Dark, dark, dark. I don't have a woman.
Commonly used term, sweetheart. Rosie. as often as birds tweet, "Will you be my lovely heart sweet?" In October of 2003, Christian reunited with his childhood friend, Sarah, for her birthday. For the special occasion, he made her a present, a hand-drawn comic book detailing the complete history of their life together, entitled Chris plus Sarah's Life Shares. It is from this work of literature that the majority of their interactions with each other has come to be known, including Sarah's supposed childhood bullying, which then 21-year-old Chris completely neglects. Like most of his creative attempts, it is self-centered, bragging about his accomplishments concerning Sonichu. He also talks about her personal life, including her relationship with her boyfriend. As of sometime before July 2000, Sarah has been living with her boyfriend, Wes Isley, a magician who does parties.
Boop.
He closes the
We're
book
out.
with hope for the future. A special note from Christian to
Good old
Sarah.
2 keys.
I hope that we can hang together sometime, but for now and forever, we will always be good friends.
Oh, wow. Homie's literally friend zoning himself. He's not even I mean, good on him for knowing that boundary, though. Shit. It's kind of surprising that he knows even that. Wait a minute. I did this shit last time. Eat. There we go.
To return the sentiment, Sarah decided to spend Christmas with the Chandlers, which delighted Chris.
Bro, I wonder how much of a cash stack she had put back from Bob. Like, how much was this man paying her to, like, sit there for Christmas as well? Or did she just, like, do holidays pro bono? You know, was it just like you paid for the week, I guess at least I could do is come in for 30 minutes on Christmas.
Nintendo.
On November 22nd, 2003, Christian filmed a documentary of his activities in the game
Bro, this is such a banger game. Hell yeah.
Animal Crossing on the Nintendo GameCube, which he then sent to Nintendo for consideration. Chris narrates this hour-long tour of two of his self-made towns, Quickville and Quick City. Since the documentary features a video game player narrating his activities while playing a game, this possibly makes Chris the first ever Let's Player in the modern understanding of the word.
You know, they say this, but I think I saw, fuck, what was it? There was some, like, Chinese dude who did this, like, I think a year or two before Christian. And, like, even though, like, in the modern sense, yeah, this is probably the closest you're gonna get to somebody rambling while they play some shit, you know? But I think dude did a kind of the same thing while playing, like, some deathmatching game. It's a little crazy, because, like, I couldn't read the fucking game, of course. It was all in, like, simplified Chinese. I'm sitting over here trying to figure out what in the flying fuck is happening, you know? But still, like, crazy that this man is the first
to my Animal
one.
Crossing for Nintendo GameCube. I am your host. My name is Christian Weston Chandler. I live in Ruckersville, Virginia. And I is 21 years old. And I play because I'm young at heart. So anyway, we're going to take a tour of my city.
Like everything he produces,
My
it
city.
includes Sonichu.
So anyway, stepping out is my character, Sonichu. He's wearing the clothes with the character on it. Like I said, you might remember his face. There's his actual face. You remember the rest of his body, you see the whole picture.
Chris performs a spontaneous rendition of Yellow is a Mellow Color off the Sonic and the Hedgehog Boys album.
Yellow is a mellow color. Yes, it is. It's a mellow color. Sonichu zaps the lightning. And mellow color. Yeah.
He also treats the audience with a performance of So Need a Cute Girl.
Tell me why I'm stuck as a virgin with rage. Tell me why I so need a cute girl my age. Tell me why I ain't never wanna hear you say I have a boyfriend. And that was
Man.
inspired by a real thing.
He previews the in-game
Inspired
diary
by
that
a
he
real
keeps.
thing. You can
And
literally hear
for
it in the
another
background,
journal
brother.
entry here in November.
Shit. Bap him
I
up.
tried to get a girlfriend because I don't have a girlfriend. But I have made up a poem. Let you guys read it. Alright. Scroll down a little bit as we go along. It's a very good poem because I am an artist as well as a poet. I make a rhyme every time.
Make a
He proceeds
rhyme
to give
every
a tour
time.
of his bedroom.
This is my bedroom.
No need to
It's a lot of
fear.
fun, isn't it? Because I
Mr.
like to make
Rapper
things
is
fun
here.
since you know I'm young at heart.
Rap.
As he
Rap.
unwittingly transfers his hoarding habits
Rap.
into a virtual environment, his bedroom in Animal Crossing closely replicates
Sipping on
his real-life
3
counterpart.
beers.
Chris goes outside and comes across several characters who all seem to run back
Can
indoors
you-
at the very side
can
of
you-
him.
Around
Kill
here,
him?
I want to show you my favorite character that kind of got
Thank
to
you.
know it from the start. Oop, she just went in. There's Aunt Cootie. She just went in.
Let's go ahead.
And there's Elmer. He just went in.
He then
Damn.
travels to his house.
They really
on
are all
Rhode
running
Island
from him. They were
to
like,
reveal
"Hey,
that
get
he
me the
mostly
fuck away
uses the
from this
property
guy."
for extra storage.
I use mine as storage for the
Whoa.
extra items I don't have room for at home. Yeah, I got a bunch.
He reasserts his brand loyalty for Nintendo and decries their competitors.
Speaking of which, you should make this Sonic Heroes should be Nintendo GameCube exclusive because Xbox and PlayStation 2, my opinion is the same as yours. They both stink.
What?
Yeah, I do not even
PS2 is a
own them.
banger,
I don't
bro.
even want them.
First off, I mean, you could be a Nintendo fanboy all you like, but the PS2 had some banger hits. You had Sly Cooper, you had Ty, fucking, I remember there was a Hot Wheels game, you got the Dragon Ball Z games on there. There's some banger games on there. It had a lot of titles,
That goes
actually.
double for the PS1 as well. But if you
I
wanna know my game systems,
don't think I really
had my
played on the
GameCube for about
PS1 much.
almost a year and a half now. Got on May 31st.
I think you had Resident
2002.
Evil for
I
PS1
got
and
your
2.
SNES, Nintendo 64, NES. I got the Genesis 301 with the original Genesis, 32X, and Sega CD, as well as Sega Dreamcast, and the Sega Saturn. So I got mostly all of them. I've been a Sonic fan forever, and that's why I'm glad that Sonic came to Nintendo.
He mentions that he likes to keep his surroundings clean by picking
Imagine the dude is just absolutely autismed up on a Tuesday and just fucking hitting some of that classic speed Sonic, just banging through those levels. That's one thing I've always been like, it's kind of hard for me to keep my focus on Sonic because it's so fast paced sometimes. I'm just like, what the fuck? Too much shit going on at once. You only got 30 frames to cram all that in. And I'm just like, man, I missed it.
weeds.
Skill
weed,
issue,
there's-
but you
there's
know,
a weed.
just personal
I pick weed.
preference.
Keeps my town clean, as well as Quixie.
He also likes to keep active.
Another weed. Why you know about that? I usually like to run. It keeps me going faster. By the way,
He introduces the viewers to his character, Crystal.
anyway, this is Crystal. She's wearing the Rose Chew look. There's a zap button on the door. I got Sonic Rose Chew's mug right here.
Near the end, Chris proclaims that he is high-functioning autistic.
And to answer the all-important question, what is the meaning of HFA with the two red eyes? I will tell you. Got that? That means high functionally autism because that's what I am. I'm functionally autistic. I may have autism, but since I'm high functional, I can do a lot of things. I mean, otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this documentary I'm doing right now. But anyway, for the submission of Nintendo Power, this has been a documentary narrated by Christian Weston Chandler. Thank you very much, and I hope that you will consider this for publication. Bye now.
Christian started 2004 with a New Year's resolution to find a girlfriend. On January 3rd,
I wonder if they ever accepted him into the Nintendo Power thing, and if they did, how much is that issue worth now because of the shit that surrounds this dude?
he drew a Sonichu comic strip, which also featured Rosechu and Black Sonichu. This was the first time he included his characters in an illustrated storytelling setting. On the 6th, he went to get an eye exam. The optometrist in question happened to be Dr. David Chandler, Chris's brother from Bob's first marriage, who informed him for the first time that he had an 8-year-old niece named Savannah. On
I would not have told this dude of any women, female, adult, child, or otherwise. It's probably not a good idea. He seems very wild.
January 18th, he wrote Hard Love Quest, a poem concerning his difficulties in finding a boyfriend-free girl. Without girlfriend love, he feels an older age, as he is still stuck as a virgin with rage. He searched low and high to the end. The only delay is the fear of being already beaten by a boyfriend. On January 31st, Christian wrote in his diary,
Dude's got a fucking poetry slam going on.
"Well, it's the end of another month, and I still don't have a girlfriend. Maybe my latest idea, the Sonichu's News Dash newsletter, will make the ladies take notice of me." The newsletter in question was an outlet for Christian's creative ideas concerning Sonichu and his poetry. Issue 1 featured a couple of skits starring Sonichu, the poem Saddest Heart in the World, and a personal ad for himself, which was not unlike his attraction sign. Christian is a very shy and very thoughtful person and will only accept person-to-person encounters. When getting his attention, approach and say hi to him. Do not flirt from a distance. He will
Dude's talking about himself like he's a fucking animal on David Attenborough documentary. He is very shy and will only connect if you start talking about Sonic.
not be able to notice. To find Christian, he'll be wearing the Sonichu medallion.
Yeah, just look for the big goober wearing a giant yellow medallion on his neck made of fucking Crayola model magic clay. Can't miss him. I promise you. He'll be sweating staring at you already.
In addition to posting a digital copy onto his website, he distributed printed copies of the newsletter around PVCC campus as an alternative to his attraction sign. This must have caught the attention of Mary Lee Walsh, who issued a cease and desist
This is the first
order.
death I've had in a while.
In an email dated February 1st, Chris tried to settle out of court. "Mary, I've slept on it, and I've realized that note hanging is not the way to get attention, and I don't really want to meet with either you nor Susan. No offense. I'll tell you what, let's forget the meeting, and if you will allow my newsletter to stay in distribution, I will do all of the following. I will never hang notes on the wall again. I'll consider stopping my silent treatment on Susan. I'll consider knocking you and Susan up my scale of respect, each by 2 points. 0 equals no respect, 10
we don't have the
equals
air
respect."
runes.
Walsh
Fucking
replied
blows.
and
Oh wait,
insisted
no,
that
we
they
can
meet
just
the following week. On
bop,
February 9th,
bop,
Christian recounted the
bop,
events of that
bop,
meeting.
bop.
Mary Lee Walsh made it illegal to
Take me to
distribute the
Varrock.
news dash. "I am very angry at that XXXXX. In response, I plan to incite the masses and hope they demand the return of the news dash so my chances on getting a girlfriend can be restored. I have also declared war on them as well." It was allegedly during this meeting where he performed
do I have
his
a knife?
Kamehameha attack, which consisted of
like a
Chris
regular
mimicking the
knife,
hand
my guy?
motion of an attack move from the anime series Dragon Ball Z,
I think I got,
and
like,
cursing
bronze
people
axe or
into
something.
experiencing bad luck.
Yeah, bronze
However,
axe.
it is not certain whether he was inspired by the original occurrence of the
Hold up.
Kamehameha or its parody featured in another
Get this
anime,
outta
Excel
here.
Saga, to which Chris has definitely been
Bump
exposed.
that. We can bump the fire
In March,
runes.
Chris
and
claimed
how
that
many
the
keys we
kerfuffle
got?
concerning Walsh got his parents upset
10.
too. That XXXXX Mary Lee Walsh got on my and my parents' nerves. All I'd been doing was trying to get a girlfriend. Is that too much to ask? I am very devastated.
I don't know,
due
man.
to my shattered
Going about
heart
it like a
that
booty call, that's pretty rough.
XXXXX caused unto me.
There you go.
My life sucks. Completely disregarding her
My
demands,
life
he published
sucks.
issue 3 of Sonichu's News Dash, with most of the content themes remaining unaltered.
Oh, fuck.
However, his requirements for a boyfriend-free girl were tweaked a little bit. He was now looking for 18 to 22-year-olds, since he had just turned 22 himself. In May of 2004,
22-year-olds.
Nintendo
So
Power
he went up a little
magazine
bit.
published an article highlighting Christian's Animal Crossing video, referring
I don't know,
to
if you're
Chris
going
only as Sonic.
I don't know. If you're going for, like, his criteria of, like, a rich woman that's gonna take care of you, like, moderate to high income, and you're not gonna work a job, I feel like the least you could do is bump the age gap up a little bit. Go for, like, one of those cougars, my guy. Get you like a
amazing.
granny.
There's no other way to describe what we've received from Sonichu of Quickville, a full video documentary that walked us through his daily life. His opulent manor contained every manner of furniture. Quickville's landscape was filled to the birth.
Wait, so this fucker got into Nintendo Power with that? I bet you that issue is fucking out the roof, dog. That's gotta be a collector's item for internet obscurities. I guarantee you, man. That is insane.
Point with all the animals who'd moved to his well-tended town, and Sonichu has customized everything about his town. Even many villagers have followed his bold trends, wearing the patterns he has created. This apparently got the attention of PVCC's newspaper, The Forum, which featured Christian and Sonichu in an exclusive
Who the fuck's
report.
my fire staff?
PVCC student Christian Chandler has dedicated many hours to
Damn
his
it.
pastime. He is the creator of
Now
Sonichu,
I can't teleport
the
back
electric
either.
hedgehog Pokemon. Like Sonic,
I am pretty
Sonichu
lazy.
can run at high speeds. During Super Sonic's battle against the perfect Chaos Monster, Sonic Adventure DX for GameCube, Super Sonic was spat out by the monster and collided with a bystanding
all the way
Pikachu,
back.
Chandler explained. According to this story, the power from the Chaos Emeralds
fuck
transformed
that.
Pikachu into Sonichu.
Still
Chandler and the
Lumpy.
world he created for Sonichu were featured in the May 2004 issue of Nintendo Power. The place is called Quickville. The Quick prefix are his initials, Christian Weston Chandler. Nintendo Power was apparently impressed.
You know, probably that just nobody else had the money to do this shit. Cause like this dude did get like an all expense paid trip at the time, like to fucking Blockbuster, whatever the game place or whatever he went to. That is like so much cash during that time to have on a spending spree. So much money. Like it is an insane amount this dude won. No joke. It is unfathomable to a degree.
Impressed with Chandler's work.
Dude definitely made it come
During
up.
all this rigmarole, he continued to publish his news dash, but he updated his personal contact information to
See,
include
now
a
we
link
can go back
to
to
his
Vera.
Match.com profile, which he
Yeah.
created to aid in his love quest. It was also around this time
Like this
that he
little
opened
walkie
a
walk.
MySpace account. I enjoy drawing, listening to music, playing video games, and TCG. I also like anime,
What you want you to
Legos,
call it, like
and I love
Hassan's
my
dog?
parents. I also enjoy web design.
Hey,
He
he's real
proceeds to
nice.
list all the gaming consoles in his possession, finishing
What?
with the Pokemon catchphrase.
You already got
Gotta
3
catch
legs.
'em all.
Trying to catch
Interestingly,
a
he
whole
listed his
shot collar.
occupation as student/cartoonist. He
I won't
explores
even
his
double
most
back when
desperate
chat
desires
asks.
in his blurb.
I'll be real
I am
about
a
it.
bit shy, but I would enjoy the company
I would
of a
never.
beautiful
You're
girl
already
who
missing
likes some of the
Blackbird.
things I do. I
Good
also like to
girl.
have fun when I can, and I don't really like to be alone. I graduated from high school on the honor roll, and I'm doing very well at PVCC. A lot of men make false promises to their girlfriends, but I am totally different. When it comes to what I can offer, I can seriously promise care, respect, empathy, and love. I think
You know, I don't know if that was true or not. In like hindsight, I don't think. Welcome back, Courtney. I don't think this man can offer care, respect, empathy, and love. I don't think he's been capable of it, but I don't think he definitely
that most
respects.
girls deserve the world, and I would do
But
my
then again,
best to give it to them.
what people have probably done to
In
this
May
man.
2004, he attended the Anime Mid-Atlantic Convention for the first time, where he met notable voice actress Monica Rial. She also sings opera very nicely, and she is a very nice, fun, and sweet person to hang around with.
Oh
She sure
wow!
made my day a sweet one. In Sonichu's
Wha-
News Dash issue 5,
Dropped
he
even a little-
introduces 3 new Sonichu
Drop a little
characters.
emoji.
Christian
Okay.
Sonichu, based on himself, Wesley Sonichu, his quote-unquote rival, who's based on Sarah Hammer's boyfriend, Wes Isley, and
Dude, why does the red one look fucking cool compared to the other two? Like, he clearly just made himself fucking Sonic, and then like early predecessor Knuckles of like antagonistic Knuckles, and then that's clearly like the yellow version of Rose Chew, like gold. I don't know. He's probably like trying to make some like crazy comparison of like that is the top tier version of that. I just have no clue, bro. This is
Sarah
this
Hammer
is
Rose
insane.
Chew,
The fact that
obviously
this
named
has it
after
goes
Sarah
this deep,
herself.
bro. I gotta let the dog.
in
What-
June, to
let me-
celebrate the
what the dog do?
24-year wedding anniversary of his parents,
That's it.
Chris
Next
made him
year,
a present,
if I get chat
a dramatic
donations,
retelling
you're
of
gonna
the family's life
get a
via
call.
Animal Crossing. Through this videographic endeavor, he delves deep into the family's history.
Hi, Mom and Dad. How you doing? This is my little present for y'all. A little documentary for y'all. Here in Animal Crossing for Nintendo GameCube.
about how y'all were and how you are now and so forth. So take a trip back in time with me, won't you? As we explore how each of you were. Of course, first we'll travel back in time to the time of good old Robert Franklin Chandler Jr. He was a hip youngster back in his day. Let's take a look inside his chateau and see what describes him as him. He collects records, and he's got lots of them. He's got so many shelves. He likes palm a record case. Yeah.
Are we doing Animal
Chris
Crossing 2?
reveals that Bob has Cherokee ancestry.
Hold up, we're doing Animal Crossing 2?
Texas.
I got a push pop, fellas.
Like 1/16 Cherokee. But that's why we have this totem pole here.
A totem pole for Cherokee.
That's he's been to Korea for World War II, I believe it was.
What?
And he got
Hold up.
Texas.
Okay, so this is for his parents?
He's like 1/16 Cherokee.
1/16, the lowest denomination of Cherokee. I'm just joking. It's not the lowest. It definitely could be lower.
He's been to Korea for World War II, I believe it was. And he got Conduct Medal of Honor, which that's what this is right here.
Really?
He performs the same type of tour for Barbara.
But she went to school and she worked hard. And see this shirt here? That's her school colors, blue and white. Because back in high school, she was a cheerleader. Bum bum, tis boom ba, yay yay, la la la. Hell yeah, she likes the get old stuff as well. So she's got.
So like, for Dad, he got like a Chinese statue for his war heroism. Like verifiable things, and then for Mom, you're like, here's your outfit from school. What? These were not created equal. What the fuck?
And we got kitchen, fridge, and stove. Here's a little fan to keep cool with. Keep food in this little pantry.
Yeah, that is where you keep food, the pantry. That's, yeah, got us there.
Somebody wanted to clean up. You put your garbage in the garbage can.
Yep.
And this is the sad part. In some places now, in very few houses nowadays, but what happened in the old days, the bathroom was in the same room as the kitchen. But luckily, we always remember to wash our hands with soap and water. Yeah. Anyway,
What?
from the days of old.
Yeah, I don't ever remember a time where you'd just be shitting in the kitchen.
Chris
That's
explains
wild.
how his parents first met.
They met
Nah.
over at May's pub, see. Yeah. Mom was just sitting down with her friend. She was watching Bobby sing up here.
Oh,
And
Bobby.
She really liked his singing, so as father put it, she went up to him and then, as he passed by, changed the thermostat. Yeah.
Changing
Anyway,
the
she took him to
thermostat?
the hallway and cornered him.
That's one way to get a man's attention.
And then after
You
that,
fucking with the thermostat?
They just talked things out and they got to know each other, found common things.
Yeah, they just,
take this woman to be lovely wed wife,
now they're married.
to love and hold and
What a
cherish and
joke.
to honor.
Sure you missed a little bit of bonding in there or something?
Barbara, take this man to be a lawfully wedded husband, to love
Oh.
and cherish and to honor forever.
Fucking saplings.
I now pronounce you man and wife, you may kiss the bride. Whoopee!
After
Whoopee.
reenacting their wedding, Christian introduces himself into the picture.
But anyway, when first comes
Damn,
love,
nothing else,
comes
just
marriage,
they got married and then I'm
love
here,
and marriage
boys.
marriage. And that's where I came in. Born in February 1982 was me.
How's he getting his own page if this is supposed to be like
He
for
gives
them?
himself a tour of his own room
So anyway, this is my bedroom.
and then returns to
So
Bob's
anyway,
room.
now that we're past all that fuck ass shit, here's my badass room I made in Animal Crossing.
On the jukebox here. But since we don't have side by side on recording, we're gonna play Sitting Under the Apple Tree.
Banger.
He proceeds to let the 1942 song Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree play in full.
In full. Holy dog. Imagine it's your anniversary and your child comes to you with this at like the ripe old age of like 35.
And now for my mom and dad, something special for this video. This is my way of saying happy anniversary to y'all.
So when do the animals cross?
Coming up next.
The video cuts to a drawing made with Mario paint, which says, "To Mom and Dad, happy anniversary. Thank you both for my birth. Love, Christian
What
C."
the fuck is that, dog?
In July, Chris began going to the Charlottesville Fashion Square, attraction sign in hand, to seek out fellow mates. Evidently, his current practice did not yield promising results, as in a diary entry dated August 1st, he announced, "Well, it's another month. Still no girlfriend. But I have a new idea that I'm sure will reel in a girlfriend on a fateful red string."
Okay.
The idea concerning red string consisted of Christian tying a red string to a paper heart on which "Pick me up and bring me to my owner" was written. The significance of using a red string was most likely a reference to its appearance in the anime Excel Saga, and is a well-known symbol in many Asian cultures. Christian would throw the heart at prospective partners and hope that they would pick up the heart and follow the red string.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Imagine you see a man sitting on a park bench just throwing a fucking paper, like a piece of pink construction paper cut into the shape of heart that he hot glued a. You know what? I'm not even gonna give him the benefit of hot glue, like just Elmer's glue. And like they cut out two, they're misshapen because he cut out two of them so he could glue it in between. Oh my goodness. Oh, buddy, if I seen that, I'd run.
Leading back to him.
I'd run.
It cannot be determined how successful this strategy could have been, because just 4 days after he employed the red string of fate, a mall security guard, which Chris referred to as a jerk-op, put an end to it.
You know, good on that guy. Good on that guy, because any woman that got that shit thrown at her probably ain't coming back to the mall for like at least a month. I wouldn't.
In August, Chris
I'd stay
shifted
the hell
focus
out of
away
that
from
mall.
Pokemon and centered his attention on Yu-Gi-Oh!, a similarly themed card game. He began making his own custom cards and attended his first Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament at the game place, where he...
Virgin with Rage as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. Ooh boy. That makes a woman feel comfortable, I bet.
Over the months of getting to know Megan, I grew fond of her.
She absolutely looks mortified. Mortified, brother. I would be so scared, bro.
Although at that time, and up to now, she wasn't interested in a lovely relationship, I've bided to her wishes and requests. I am truly fond of her. Since he and Megan had Yu-Gi-Oh! As a common interest, Christian only intensified his obsession with the game, creating more and more custom Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, with one depicting Crystal, Christian's make-believe female twin. He also designed a girlfriend's gift card, on which the illustrated girlfriend...
Dude, these are wild. He's really missing out. You should have put like the first edition holo down there.
suspiciously like the sister.
Yeah.
On September 4th,
Should have really put the first edition holo down there. That would have been sick.
While I was at the mall for the 8th week today, I realized something. Since I have been using a sign to state my being single and lonesome towards an 18 to 22-year-old boyfriend-free woman, I, in the event, was trying to sell myself like a new car. 2 days later, Chris's love quest was interrupted by a jerk-op. I told that jerk-op off when I pulled some of my fun cards and told my lonesome virgin story, intimidated him, and shouted no into his face. In short,
the patience that man must have had whenever he's like, hey buddy, you need to leave. Like, he doesn't even want to get into what you're doing and why it's wrong. He's just like, yeah, you need to get out of here, bro. And then he hits you with a, look at these Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, brother. You don't understand. I would have been like, yeah, I clearly don't. They don't pay me enough as mall security. Fucking, I'm calling the cops.
Today was my Independence Day, but I am still alone. On September 11th, his search for love took a turn for the worst. I was not bothering anyone at the mall today while I was trying to sell myself. when I got arrested for trying. I fortunately did not go to jail, but I have been stripped of my right to go to the mall by myself. I would be required to bring
No, that's still generous. That's still generous, dog.
my mom
Still
or
generous.
dad with me.
Take that as a W.
My independence and my soul were practically murdered. Chris's run of misfortune climaxed when only 5 days later, the school board of PVCC suspended him for 1 year. My dad is bloodthirsty for revenge as well. He's going to write to U.S. President George W. Bush Jr. and Laura Bush.
Man's gonna write to George W. Bush. Autistic son got kicked out because he was in there trying to get him some booty. President Bush. I know you got a lot going on, but can you help me out? Help a brother out?
Bush to help me get allowed back to PVCC. We all cursed to death upon that XXXXX Mary Lee Walsh. In conjunction with his suspension, he was required to take anger management classes, get a psychological evaluation, and receive social skills counseling. 10 days after the event, he lamented over his inability to go to PVCC or the mall, and confessed that he would be asking for a girlfriend this Christmas. Despite his bans from the college,
I just read that, and it whole ass said this man was gonna ask Santa Claus for a girlfriend for Christmas. Imagine if that easy, just like, damn, Santa Claus, I've just been so lonely. I don't even want an Xbox this year. Just give me a wife. All I'm asking for, Santa, is a good woman who cooks and cleans. I ain't asking for a lot.
and the Fashion Square, he decided to continue with his search for a boyfriend-free girl, but relocated to the University of Virginia's campus to do so. However, this move wasn't for long, as Christian was allowed back to the Fashion Square in November. Regardless, he went back to UVA for a different kind of engagement, in the form of a mandatory psychiatric evaluation. There are more of such documented examinations in existence, but this is the only one so far which has been made public. Mr. Chandler says that since finishing high school and starting at PVCC in the year 2000, he has had an increasing interest in a female companion. His attempts at this ultimately led to his suspension from college.
You know, how much you want to bet that his dad talked to like the fucking manager of the mall, just the guy who owns the actual property, and like wrote him instead of President Bush or whatever the fuck. And he was like, you know what? You show me a piece of paper saying that thing is fucking mentally sane, and I'll let you guys back over here. Prove to me that he is mentally well, and we'll talk.
His attempt took the form of a sign, which he placed next to himself while sitting in the lobby at Piedmont. This sign was a list of qualifications that a potential girlfriend would have. He said that he has been very frustrated by his inability to find a girlfriend, and he suffers from noviophobia. This refers to his frustration that females often tell him that they already have a boyfriend. While he does have physical attraction towards females, his primary frustration...
And dude, if he didn't pay this psychiatrist, I feel like the psychiatrist definitely took pity. Had to. Had to be, bro. I hate it, but it's gotta be something like that.
The report mentions his medical record and earlier evaluations. He has already undergone psychological evaluation by Robin Hawks at the Center of Learning Potential. The recommendation concerning Mr. Chandler's emotional status is that he seek psychiatric and psychological treatment. The psychologist felt that counseling and medication would possibly address his obsessive thought pattern and assist him with social skills. She also recommended anger management training. The analysis also comments on Christian's appearance and demeanor in the session. The patient is a mildly overweight white male, wearing blue jeans and a shirt. He was also wearing a makeshift necklace that has a large plastic medallion in the
Yeah, never goes anywhere without that fucking necklace, dog. What the hell?
shape of a Pokemon character's head. He also had a number of shrinky-dink decorations attached to this.
Hey, that psychiatrist doesn't have all the facts, Chief. That's not a Pokemon's head. That's a Sonichu, thank you. Get it right. We've learned in here. It's a Sonichu.
Necklace. He had a large backpack that he carried with him, and had a notebook containing a large number of drawings. His speech was somewhat nasal, with frequent, awkward laughing during his sentences. His speech was fluent. His responses were appropriate to the questions posed to him. Overall, the volume of his speech was slightly elevated, although his tone was generally pleasant and almost jovial. His thought processes were linear and logical. He was somewhat concrete, especially regarding social interactions. He seemed to have...
What standard of linear and logical? I want to know, like, give me a scale of 1 to 10, like, come on.
a good insight into his limitations. The attending physician offers up his final verdict. Folstein's score was 30 out of 30, with his sentence being, "Uncle Spunky is a really funky monkey." Mr. Chandler is a 22-year-old man with a history of developmental delays and autism. Despite these limitations, he seems to have been quite successful in maximizing his academic abilities. He is left, however, with a severe degree of social awkwardness and seems to have good insight into this. He is left feeling somewhat frustrated as he has a strong desire for companionship, although his social limitations prevent him from being able to realize this in the way which he would like. The patient doesn't seem to pose a significant threat to himself or anyone else. After the evaluation, Chris carried on with life much like before, with neither him nor his parents making any significant effort to change his ways. But Christmas was soon approaching, and maybe Santa would bring him a girlfriend like he wished, who could right all his wrongs and change his life for the better. What made him this way? What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan.
Hello. My name is Christian Chandler, age 22 at this time. I will be 23 on February
Age 22
24th,
at this time.
2005.
Damn, no
Anyway,
key, brother.
For over a year now, I've been trying to attract an 18 to 22-year-old boyfriend-free girl, 18 to 21 before February 24th, 2004, which is this year. Anywho, been trying for over a year to attract a boyfriend-free girl, and I have failed. And you know, when you have so many failures at this time, you can't help but feel sad, you know, and depressed. And yet here it is about Christmas time, and well, all I want for Christmas is a boyfriend-free girl.
Chris prepares for Christmas 2004 by singing 2 of his songs for the camera. He performs "So Need a Cute Girl,"
Tell me why I so need a cute girl my age.
followed by "All I Want for Christmas is a Pretty Girlfriend."
All I want for Christmas is a girlfriend. She has to be 18 to 22.
That's... wow. Just wow. I don't even know where to begin with that.
Well, at this time of year,
At this
all
time
I
of
can say
year.
right now is that I hope Santa will comply with my request and bring me
He said, "Come on, Santa. Bring me some bad bitches this Christmas."
a pretty girlfriend. And so, happy holidays from me, Christian Chandler. By the way, you can call me Chris in public. And thank you.
Christian whipped his camera out for Christmas Day too, and documented the state of the house at that time.
'Twas Christmas Day, and all through the house, the creatures that were stirring were my family and me and our 2 cats.
Missed a banger opportunity to rhyme there, Mr. Poet.
And we wander upon our wondrous Christmas tree, with a star that was made so
Fuck, no
delicately.
key.
Delicately?
Damn, the
star
game
on top of
shafted
the
me.
tree is in fact Sonichu. Chris reveals that his dreams were dashed that day.
And a Christmas present that was supposed to be for the girlfriend that Santa brought, but unfortunately, she didn't show.
Yeah. I like guys looking at those boxes like, I don't think a woman can fit in any of those. Not the type that I'm looking for. Damn it. Maybe next year Santa will actually listen.
Chris introduces
What?
his audience to his parents.
And now we wander in on my family. Say hello, Father.
Bro, imagine his dad at this age and his mom just being like, he ain't getting no woman for Christmas. Like, that's just not happening. It's not happening, bro. In no way, shape, or... How in the fuck would they even begin to bring that?
Making our Christmas movie. I see. You're wasting your chip. Well, I'm gonna play it onto VHS anyway. Alright. A smaller Christmas.
I like how he tries to tell him, like, hey, man, don't burn out all the batteries in that thing. You know, you should enjoy some of the Christmas magic around you. And he's just like, don't worry, I'm gonna put this bitch on VHS. I was prepared in case Santa brought me a bad one. Damn it. I wonder if there's a limit to how many keys you can have banked. But, oh my...
Tree down here.
Look that up real quick.
And our mothers sleep here in a dark area. Would you care to share a Merry Christmas with the world, Father?
The tour puts a spotlight on the extent of the hoarding situation in the house, as Chris visibly has trouble navigating through the hoard.
Can you say something to the entire world? Merry Christmas. Yep.
After the tour, Chris documents the gift exchange, revealing the interpersonal dynamics of the family.
Okay, yeah, it's recording. So, here we are around the Christmas tree. We're gonna open presents. Hooray, hooray.
Chris presents Bob with a card.
Oh, I gotta go get my prayer real quick.
Yeah. Read to Mom.
I want to thank you all for your support and love throughout my fantastic love quest. Pooey. And if
Imagine getting your father to read some shit like, alright, now read it, Dad. I want you to read it for the chat. I want to thank y'all for helping me through my booty call.
Santa doesn't bring me one, no Thomas.
Do you hear the little, and if Santa doesn't bring me one, no comment. It's like he rescinds everything. What the fuck?
Like I asked him, then I'm going to need some support finding a boyfriend free. It'll come, Christian. Hope you all like my presents. Okay.
What the
Today,
fuck?
thinking of Christmas and remembering you all. Merry Christmas, Christian C.
Christian gives Bob the option of receiving the Puppet TV show Fraggle Rock on DVD or on VHS. After Christian discreetly implies that he wants to keep the DVD for himself, Bob caves in and chooses to take the VHS.
Yes.
So you want the VHS?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm not much for...
Dude, so even giving a gift, he still kind of was like, I really like I like the DVD more. It's a better format. The compression's way better, and you know, it's got that quality I'm really looking for. You know, I'm not gonna be upset if you make me take the VHS, but I really enjoy the DVD. His mom's just like, why the fuck do we have two copies? Why do we need two copies? Are we really burning out the Fraggle Rock?
Everything that's on the DVD is on that VHS.
VHS work better in my system.
Yeah.
Chris presents Barbara with a Lego set.
No boring stuff.
Now, you know for a fact the Lego set's just gonna go right back to him. There's no fucking shot that he's just gonna let her actually have the Legos. He's definitely gonna cabbage on those. The moment she's like, I'm not putting this shit together.
He gives her a plush doll of the Japanese character Hamtaro.
I got you, Hamtaro.
Either that or this is all just random shit he got from his own house. Like his room where he's just got a bunch of shit. It's gotta be just random shit he's got out of his room. Like, what can I re-gift? Maybe he actually does just enjoy Fraggle Rock, the DVD, and he's just like, maybe if I give them the things I really enjoy, they'll bring that boyfriend free girl. What the fuck?
The family discussed the possibility of a surprise visit from Sarah.
Oh, that's my present for Sarah. Because, you know, she might come over.
Yeah, he's like, just in case that boyfriend free girl was Sarah, the one I've really been hoping on. I got her a gift.
She did last year, remember?
Remember, she came one time.
With his mother, but ends up hurting her instead.
A key! Wow! Look at that after about 47 of these fucking giants.
Chris gives Barb another
Wowee!
present. A snow globe with him in it.
Snow globe. With me in it. Merry Christmas, Robert. It's also got Sanchi.
Merry Christmas, Robert.
You know, one side, Sanchi on the other. That's cool. I got it over at Walmart. The snow globe.
It's probably like the least self-centered gift, but I still feel like that ended up right on his knickknack shelf with all of his other anime shit and weird-ass Pokemon cards he made.
After the gift unwrapping, Christian went back to his room to record a video recapping the events.
Well, now this ends our family Christmas of 2004. I did get some nice gifts, but it does not compare to having a boyfriend-free girl that can make it to a girlfriend.
Oh my god, this man... What the fuck? It doesn't compare, you know, if I just had that woman that I could just turn into a wife. Just transform her, you know? Damn it.
But unfortunately, I was hoping for her to come, but she didn't. My lifelong friend, Sarah Hammer.
You know what he meant to say. You know what he meant to say, bro. He's really hoping that boyfriend-free girl was Sarah or whatever, and he's just absolutely besmitten that he didn't get his way. Because just like with the English class debacle where he wrote fucking full-fledged Spanish sentences into his shit, and then went off on his teacher for being like, brother, what?
You know, if she had not been paired up with that jerk Wes Isley, I could have her, but seriously though.
I could have her. Brother has some fucking wishful thinking to a fucking magnified degree.
I wish she was here so that I could talk to her and so she can help me in my quest to get a boyfriend-free 18, 22-year-old girl. 1823 as of February 24th, 2005. Well,
Yeah, I like how he's keeping a running date on those criteria, like, yeah, next year, it's February, we're gonna be going to 24 total. Ladies, those numbers keep going up.
Anyway, that pretty much sums up my Christmas season for this year, so, as they say in showbiz, goodbye, folks.
As he entered 2005, Christian continued his tried-and-true tradition of pacing around the mall, hoping to attract a boyfriend-free girl. His activities quickly caught the eye of Anna McLaren, an employee of Pack & Son at Charlottesville Fashion Square, who described her encounter with him in a blog post titled, "The Tale of the Crazy Pacer." There was a guy...
You know, if I saw somebody like this in public, nowadays it wouldn't have been shit. But during that time, I feel like him having that much freedom in the first place without adult supervision was a fucking blessing for him. I'd like to say, though, fucking, he made good use of it, but he just fucking paced around the mall shitting his pants anytime a girl looked in his direction. Like he could have spent that time doing like crazy thing, making connections, you know?
He'd come and do it for hours on end.
Not to mention just unrealistic goals in general with women. Like what type of dudes out here looking no job, no nothing like that. You need to be moderate to high income range for me, alright, ladies? Like he didn't budge on those criteria still. Don't let that little fact slip by. That man has a goal in mind, okay? Can't be just anybody riding the old Chris Chan train. You gotta be specific criteria.
And just walking back and forth. He was an okay looking guy, not evil looking like creepy molester dude. So he would pace for his allotted time, then leave. Sometimes as he paced.
You know what's even crazier is the fact these people are very generous when they describe him versus like, oh, another key. Hell yeah. These people are very generous when they're describing him too. Like, I don't think anyone these days would give him the doubt of being like a creepy pedo looking dude. Like, that's the first thing they're gonna say, dog. The first thing they're gonna say. They're gonna say, yeah, that's a pedo.
Nobody really could ever tell what he was
How'd your kids, how'd your wife, because we ain't going to the mall over there near that guy.
The same shirt, a nice little long sleeve.
Definitely not going to Zoomies today. Did you see the guy sitting out there?
And white collar and cuffs. Then, one day, he decided to start pacing on the Pac Sun side, so he started pacing in front of our store. We were doing floor set, and Lin noticed that crazy pastry kept looking into Pac Sun as he paced. And this day, he was acting particularly crazy. He'd pace and pace, then stop and shout something at the wall, then keep pacing. And he also did some singing, even getting into the vibrato falsetto junks. It was hilarious. So anyways, someone, I can't remember who, suggested that the next time he looked in, we wave at him. So they waved, and Christian waved back.
You know this man is definitely going to be like, oh yeah, they're into me big time.
After some waving back and forth, Christian took the initiative and entered the store. He came right up to the counter that I was standing behind, and he looks right at me, all fidgety and twitchy, and he goes, "You look to be about 19 years old, right?"
Like I said, the criteria, he's already going through that mental checklist. You're, less than 24 and more than 18, right? Just a prerequisite.
To introduce himself. "My name is Christian," he said, "but you can call me Chris. I'm Christian W. Chandler." "Oh," I said. "Hi, Chris." "So," he continued, "do angels have names?" I found out later that he meant to say, "Do angels like you have names?" Poor guy was so nervous, he didn't get it right. Anna introduces herself, then Chris talks about eyes. "My eyes are two different colors. One of them is green and the other is blue. That's because I had pink eye a while back, and one of them stayed that way. What color are your eyes?"
What? Just talking about pink eye? What? Come on, man. That's gross. It's gross as it is. It's like you're literally admitting you got your finger near your butthole at some point.
Anyway, sometimes blue.
I doubt it's a random fucking.
Gray.
Oh.
"Oh, that's neat. It's funny how that happens, isn't it?" "Yeah," I said. He attempts to ask her out, but Anna declines. He eventually settles on the internet as a forum for future communication between them. Christian came back and handed me a card with a crudely drawn Sonic the Hedgehog and some other yellow Sonic-looking creature on it, along with Christian's name, email address, and website. It was a homemade business card. "That's my email address, and you can just email me sometime, okay?" "Okay," I said, not intending to email him at all. Little did either of them know, but this was the start of a friendship, but for the time being.
You know what? She looks like she was into internet oddities. I'll be real with you. You know what? She's pretty nice, because she's not a bad-looking girl for the times. I gotta admit, you know, for Chris Chan, that probably was like him, mega W.
His contact with Anna was sparse. In February, Cartoon Network's Adult Swim block held a contest which asked viewers to make their own commercial advertising the release of the cartoon series Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, Volume 1 DVD set. Christian sent in his own unique take, in which he mentions his ongoing feud with Mary Lee Walsh.
"Hello! I hired Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, to help me me, Christian Weston Chandler, in my case against Bernie Walsh, who years ago shared my heart. And he has won the case for me, and you have won for me. I highly recommend 2-disc DVD box set, which comes out April 12th, 2005.
He finishes with a brief promotion of his custom cards depicting himself and Sonichu.
This is a Christian Chandler Sonichu production.
Regrettably, the winning entry did not feature Chris. In response, he
But I got real pissed about that. He seems to have a thing for not getting his way. Let's see.
vented his frustration at losing on the Adult Swim message board. My entry was very dramatic and a lot better than that piece of poo or any of the others that made the top 5 as well. I'm very upset about that.
We gonna see that a lot. We gonna see that a lot.
My Quick's Harvey Birdman spot was the best, and I feel sorry for you, Adult Swim, for not noticing that. You all should take another good look at it and seriously reconsider. In March, Christian published Sonichu Issue 0, his first full-length comic.
There we go, baby. That's where the money's at. The Sonichu, the first issue.
The issue is further divided into episodes, much like a television show, with a different story in each one. Episode 1 begins in an open field 5 miles from the city of Station Square, in which a wild Pikachu observes fighting in the distance between Supersonic and the perfect Chaos Monster. Pikachu gets caught in the scuffle and collides with Sonic, the impact releasing a rainbow which lands on a girl Raichu 15 miles away, who then transforms into a hedgehog-like creature and calls herself Rosechu. Meanwhile, the Pikachu somehow inherited Supersonic's powers in changed form and joins Sonic in the battle, defeating the perfect Chaos Monster. He christens himself Sonichu. Christian himself interjects here and there. He draws himself having one blue and one green eye, as he had told Anna. His eyes are in fact different colors, but the difference is nowhere near as profound as in his illustrations. He then proceeds to introduce Quickville, and reveals that he is also the
I mean, to be fair, he probably didn't have too many crayons that really matched his color if you could see it.
mayor of said town. He then goes on to introduce all the main characters of the story, including Mary Lee Walsh. He saves himself for last, and devotes a full page to talk about Christian Weston Chandler. The next episode concerns Sonichu and Rosechu meeting and quickly falling in love, sharing a kiss underneath a spray of fireworks. In episode 3, Sonichu confesses that he has a dislike for pickles, as does Christian in real life. This is followed by the introduction of the evil foe, Natesurk, whose name is simply Christian backwards. After the battle is won, Mayor Chandler drives off in his car, carrying the Virginia vanity plate, Sonichu, identical to the one on his real-life car. It should be noted that Sonichu refers to Chris as his father, even though his creation has nothing to do with Christian. The comic ends with a sub-episode starring Chris in a story based on his run-in with the mall police. However, in this version, he clutches his medallion, says Electric Hedgehog Power, and transforms into Chris Chan Sonichu, who largely looks like a blue-colored Sonichu, making him look like the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Meanwhile, the
Another
Jerk
key.
equips metal armor. Needless to say, Chris defeats him by cursing him into experiencing horrendous bad luck by using his Curse Kamehameha attack. Towards the end of March, Hannah, who worked at Starbucks in the Fashion Square, approached Christian during his near-daily pacing and asked him out on a date. After she left, I became very excited and oh my god all over. After calling mom and eating me
Bro, he even got a date.
nuggets, I lifted the chair with such cheer and
What's crazy, he's doing better than some of y'all out there. That's insane in my opinion. If this man can even get a date, y'all need to step it up, bro.
grace and spun around with it like a dancer. Then I put it back where it was. I felt that my love quest had finally come to an end, and I so elated that my shattered heart had a full, fast recovery. I went to Starbucks, and we talked about basic things. I showed her my Sonichu scrapbook. She was very impressed. I gave her my email and both my phone numbers on a Sonichu site card, and she gave me her email address. I was very attentive as I took notes
Not
about
the
her
Sonichu
and
card,
maintained
brother.
eye contact. As I left her, I gave her a double-take flirt. That was the rise, now here comes the fall. As I was sitting at my spot, thinking about future steps for later dates, Anna and Dana told me that when to talk to Hannah, she told them that she was setting me up in a prank. I could not believe it, so I found and asked Hannah. Sadly, it was true. Then in major shock, my heart shattered again by 85%, and I let out a big no. His outburst of negation resulted in Chris getting banned from the mall again. He devoted
The bro just screamed in the mall.
the second sub-episode to this misadventure. Not long after, he completed his second Sonichu comic, Sonichu Issue 1. Pokemon's Giovanni teams up with Sonic villain Dr. Robotnik
To be fair, the art is getting better at this point, but the Comic Sans is, it's rough.
to create their own Sonichu in order to defeat the real thing. Unfortunately, a blunder causes Sonichu's DNA sample to get corrupted with cherry cola, producing an imperfect replica of our hero, called Black Sonichu, also known as Blotchu. Blotchu captures Rosechu,
Black Sonichu. What the fuck?
so Sonichu and Sonic team up to rescue her. After combating Blotchu and the new Metal Sonichu, they eventually save Rosechu. The style of the comic became more text-heavy, with some conversations so convoluted that Chris numbered the lines in the order that they should be read. The following month, Chris's review for Sprung, a dating simulation game for Nintendo DS, was published in Nintendo Power. I originally bought the game because I needed some lessons on what to say to or do for a girl. To make a long story short,
If you're taking dating advice from a video game, it's probably part of your problem. Just saying.
I developed a fear that all the pretty girls are already paired up with a boyfriend. I've dubbed this social phobia noiophobia, after the Spanish word for boyfriend. Anyway, before Sprung, I was afraid to approach most women. FYI, I am 22 years old. I tried to silently attract a boyfriend-free girl, mostly with signs, for over 1 year and 4 months.
Brother, that is just insane that anyone would ever articulate that into words, whether typed or spoken.
Then Sprung provided me with general things to say and do, so I felt more confident. When I tried my newfound expressions from the dating simulator, I forgot my fear of the infinitely high boyfriend factor, and I met a couple of lady friends with whom I feel more comfortable. So thank you Nintendo and Ubisoft for the dating advice that this frustrated virgin needed. Christians
Ubisoft making a huge comeback in that time, boys. That was their #1 hit.
C. On April 13th, a University of Virginia student wrote a blog post that included her observations of Christian, whom she renamed Sonichu, hanging around the Alderman Library. So Sonichu returned to Alderman today. I'm not sure what to make of him. He sits in his chair and draws his Sonichu comics. Harmless, I ask me. Yet I feel like he knows he's different. He knows that the world rushing in front of him is not his own, surrounded by the brightest students in America, whatever that means. He sits in his chair and draws. 23 years old. I'm not sure he even graduated high school. In front of him, text of Plato, Faulkner, God, and Kleist's swirl. Does he have the capacity to understand these works? Whether he can or not, I am not sure. But there is something in his eyes that realizes that there is a level of understanding and thought that he is unable to partake in. As he slumps lower and lower in his chair, with each student he eyes reading or holding a book, he falls into himself, into the markers and colors on the page in front of him. He seems intelligent enough to understand that he does not understand, and then holding a book, he falls into himself, into the markers and colors on the page in front of him.
Oh, it's shit,
He
boys.
seems intelligent enough to understand that he does not understand, and that is the hardest part of all. In early May, Chris released Sonichu Issue 2. This marks a turning point in the comic
Think we're gonna
as the
call
story
it for
begins to
now.
focus on Christian rather than Sonichu. Episode 7 concerns
I got a
the
few
Antwerp
keys.
prophecy.
I'm gonna keep
When Sonic
grinding that while
explains
we're
the
off.
mysterious prophecy to Christian, Chris reaffirms
Thank y'all for
that he is the
stopping in
creator
today.
and father of Sonichu. They enter the Destiny Cave and
Whew.
unknowingly release an ancient evil power. Chris also meets an ancient leader of the Cherokee clan
Boys,
who reveals that Chris is
be
his
safe
reincarnation.
and
He is told that
have
he
a
has
good
to
one.
unleash ancient powers to defeat the evil by using his Sonichu medallion to transform into
we'll stop here and see where we're at in the video. I'll just keep watching it whenever I'm back on stream. We're on part 3. How many parts are in this fucking thing? Oh my lord. 74? No, wait. 85. 74, 74 again. What? There's two 74s? Oh, I guess the playlist probably has one that's not in order. That's alright. We'll figure that out when the time comes. Boys, thank y'all for turning out. It's been a fantastic stream. I'm gonna be dipping out. Y'all be safe.